Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Coach Mike Stewart pregame show presented to you by the U.S. Army, America's team. Visit them at goarmy.com. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to your coverage of Moorpark Raider football. My name is Ryan Ketchum, play-by-play commentator, joined alongside Wyatt James, who's going to be my color commentator analyst for you this evening. We're here at Griffin Stadium, home of the Moorpark Raiders here at Moorpark College for the second home game of the season for the Moorpark Raiders. The Raiders will be playing host to the Palomar Comets. This game will be presented by the UCLA Health. It begins with you, UCLA Health. We're here at beautiful Moorpark, California. I mean, it's just a beautiful night. The
great night.
Sun's out. It's a great, beautiful sky, and hopefully the Moorpark Raiders play as great as the weather is tonight. And the Moorpark Raiders, they are 1-2 coming into this game, and Palomar Comets are 2-1 coming into this game. Palomar won their first two games, lost their one last weekend, and Moorpark College, they won their first game of the season and lost their last two. They only scored 5 points in their last two games. What are you looking at their offense? Of course, we have a great offense.
Yeah.
Tanner Darling, number 22, star quarterback. We have guys like Vincent Corso, number 20, Cameron Prentice Brown, number 81. What are you looking to see out of the offense to be able to step it up this game and actually get points up on the board, get a touchdown up on the board, and hopefully give us a chance to win this game?
Yeah, well, thank you, Ryan. Like you said, the offense is going to have some great people on it. We have quarterback Tanner Darling with 266 passing yards so far this season, with 151 rushing yards, and that dual threat quarterback. Something about Tanner Darling that I think is very unique and really cool is how he is really sort of a sacrificial player. He really just throws himself at whatever opportunity he can get to get more yards. Mark Martin, we have the 235, 6'3" running back, huge guy, and let's just hope that him and Tanner are able to work in tandem and really have a strong force going against the defense. Cameron Prentice Brown, 7 receptions on 83 yards, and I think that that's just an incredible stat. It'll be interesting to see how the offense is able to push through and gain points this game.
Yeah, one of the things that I want to see is the passing offense. Of course, you said our lead wide receiver, Cameron Prentice Brown, only 83 receiving yards off of 7 receptions. I want to see that number skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
We have played teams like Long Beach City College, the Vikings, last weekend, last Saturday, we were actually down in Long Beach, and they had their top 2 receivers had over 200 yards receiving. In this game, Palomar, they have a receiver that has over 200 yards receiving, 248 to be exact. So we need to step up our passing game. Hopefully we'll be able to have that. Of course, the rushing game, that will just come right along with it. If Tanner Darling has his confidence right now, if the first 2 drives, let's say he gets around 100 yards passing, it'll open up the rushing offense. The defense will start going into zone defense. We get some draws, and we could get some more yards for Mark Martin, number 5, Ray Thomas, number 25, Anthony McLean, number 28. So hopefully that will step up tonight. Vincent Corso, number 20, that big return man.
Yeah.
We also need to use him. He's in the slot receiver position, but he is a great return man. 2 kickoff returns last weekend against Long Beach City College that went over 40 yards. So he is very explosive. The first game of the season, he actually had an over 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown that got called back. So that speed is just incredible.
Yeah.
Now, after talking about the offensive side, the defensive side, it seems like the defensive line is stepping up. What are you looking to see out of the defensive line tonight to make sure that they continue their dominance?
Yeah, well, Ryan, I think a word that could be used to describe the Moorpark Raiders defense is consistency. Every single game, they've really stepped up their game, really been putting that strength in the defensive side. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see Cameron Townsend, 17 tackles so far this season. J.J. Durden, just a really strong defense that can hopefully push through and really keep up the Raiders' mentality and their momentum.
And as you mentioned, Cameron Townsend, number 51. We had Richard Watkins, number 90. Drew Mathis, number 10. Those are a strong defensive line. But hopefully, as you said, J.J. Durden, Jashawn Durden, number 15. He's one of our star cornerbacks. Mike Jones has been out the past few games, number 1. Hopefully, he'll be able to come back soon. But our defense, our secondary, that is, the defensive line is fine, but the secondary, it seems like we have been getting torched on the passing game. As we mentioned, Long Beach City College, they had all those star wide wide receivers. This game, we're basically playing the same team. They have 4 wide receivers that have over 100 yards receiving, which is more than our number 1 wide receiver. So we need to make sure that secondary steps up. Hayden Galvin, J.J. Durden, we need to have those guys make sure that they fill the role and play as a collective unit out there. What are you looking to see out of the secondary to maybe step up and make sure that these strong wide receivers don't get the ball tonight?
Well, yes, like you said, Ryan, we've been stepped on in a sorts when it comes to passing, and it's important when we're a cornerback that to just stay on that wide receiver, not to give them any leeway, just to stay on top of them, really just gain the momentum through that. Just keep that up. Yeah,
definitely, and hopefully they will step up. Of course, tonight against Palomar, they are not in the top 10 in California, luckily, because the past 2 games we've basically been playing teams that are in the top 10, that at least started in the top 10. So hopefully this will be a good night here for the Moorpark Raiders. Moorpark Raiders have just been playing maybe not up to par in the past 2 games, but don't worry, Coach Mike Stewart, he is always on it, and he will definitely make sure that he brings them back. The wide receiver core, though, what I want to see Tanner Darling do a little bit more is look at all the wide receivers. Try to pass it around. Try to make sure that he finds his guys in the spot. How can you see the wide receivers? Of course, the route running, that's one of the most important things. How can you see them maybe up their route running so that they are able to get open and have Tanner Darling just have an easy time passing it to them?
Well, yeah, like you said, Ryan, like the passing, if you start with the passing, the rushing will follow. And like Tanner Darling is a great dual threat quarterback, like we said, but he really needs to, I think, open up his gauge, sort of see what is out there and see that there's more possibilities than just rushing. Even though he's a great rusher, I think that through the passing, through all that, we're really going to be able to step up the points, step up our own game, and it's just gonna skyrocket to see how we're going to be able to really utilize that and push us to the victory.
Definitely one thing that I want to see is the offensive line step up a little bit tonight. I mean, they haven't been that bad in the past 2 games. It's just I've seen Tanner Darling almost run for his life in many of the pass attempts.
Which is a good thing. Well, which isn't a good thing, but which is a thing that is talented for a quarterback.
Yes, he is very talented, as you mentioned. Dual threat quarterback. He is able to evade those sacks. He is able to evade the defenders and get out of the pocket and still make some nice throws on the run. But what he needs to be able to do is he needs to be able to have that strong offensive line so he can stay in the pocket at least somewhat. He can stay in the pocket for, let's say, 3 seconds, look at his wide receivers marching down the field, and make a nice throw. We need to see that offensive line step up a little bit so that they could have some nice blocking for us and be able to at least protect Tanner Darling a little bit. Now, with Edgin Bata, he was out last game. I believe he's also going to be out this game. We have Nico Lima that's also going to be out, number 8, our tight end. How do you think that we come back from those injuries? I mean, Edgin Bata, he was one of our best guys. He was a tight end, at least listed as tight end, but one of our best rushers this season. And Nico Lima, this San Jose State transfer, how could you see that we could maybe better ourselves and be able to step up from those losses?
Well, let's hope that when it comes to all the injuries, that it does not a discouragement for the team, that it's something that we're able to pick ourselves up from and really encourage ourselves.
Definitely. Well, I hope that we're able to come out strong. I can assure you that Mike Stewart will not let this team go down 1-3. We made it to a bowl game last year. We actually beat Santa Barbara City College, had a record of 6-5 after the bowl game. So we should be able to step up, and we should be able to come out here with a strong victory. Tanner Darling is going to have to be the guy, but that defensive line has just been great. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in with us. This was your Coach Mike Stewart pregame show presented by the U.S. Army, America's team. Go visit them at goarmy.com. We'll be back in the booth in just a few moments. We're just going to have a few messages from our sponsors. Thank you.
Who else is it? Okay. You're not. Okay. I didn't get under it.
The Raiders are now ranked in our coach by Mike Stewart from Palomar College. He's ranked 25th in the state.
That really quick. So does mine.
Tonight's official game features UCLA Health. UCLA Health next game. Gene versus
Hey, did you go get a goodie bag?
The very best health fairs now closer to you. For more information, visit our website. UCLA Health. UCLA Health. The proud partner sponsor.
It's normally one better. It depends. That's why there's no one in. I'm sorry, that announcement was awesome. I do that though. The Moorpark Raiders are not right. It just depends.
That was nice.
Making gestures for the in addition, any person that interrupts play will immediately be escorted out of the venue by security staff. Moorpark College athletics would like to thank everyone in
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are at the booth here at Griffin Stadium, home of the Moorpark Raiders, for the game between the Moorpark Raiders and the Palomar Comets. We have about 10 minutes until game time. We actually just got back from our pregame show once again. My name is Ryan Ketchum, joined alongside Wyatt James on the play-by-play commentator, and Wyatt James is going to be the color commentator analyst for you this evening. This game is sponsored by UCLA Health. It begins with you, UCLA Health. Now, coming in this game, one thing that we actually didn't talk about in the pregame show was Matt Romero, number 2. He is that star quarterback for Palomar. Now, we have played many teams this season that have been that strong passing game. He actually has 820 yards passing on 9 touchdowns. He has a 62.5% completion percentage, so he is a very good quarterback. How do you think that we could maybe stop him? I mean, with a strong quarterback play, we have not been able to play too well with a strong quarterback. So what do you think these changes can happen to be able to make sure that we are able to keep him in his pocket, keep him contained, and make sure he doesn't have a big game?
Well, like we talked about earlier during the game, or during the pregame show, our defensive line is extremely strong, and we're just hoping that throughout this game we're really going to be able to utilize that defensive line and carry out and hopefully get a couple sacks on us.
Yeah, hopefully that we could be able to get a few sacks. I mean, we haven't had too many sacks this season, but we need to stress the importance of third down. If you saw our coverage last week against Long Beach City College, you saw that our third down production on the defensive side was horrible. We have to be able to step up and make sure if we get that other team to a third down, we have to stop them, and we have to make sure that we don't make any false movements and make sure that we just get that punt. We force them to that fourth down and force them to punt. We need to make sure that we do that, and we need to make sure that we are able to actually receive the punt and get a good return. As we talk about, Vincent Corso is probably going to have a great game.
You know, like you mentioned about that third down, it's oftentimes that I wonder if our team sometimes at the third down we maybe not are fighting as hard because we may have a little more comfortability, which is in fact the exact opposite of what we need to do. We need to fight even harder during that third down, fight even more intensely during that third down.
All right, and now it looks like it's time for the national anthem, so we will be right back with you after this quick break. Enjoy the national anthem by Betty Jean Hanna, very own from Moorpark College.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time,
Jonathan, you have to jump
the national anthem sung by Betty Jean Hanna. Please remove your ball carriers.
Yes, grab your palms and head to the end zone, please. 5. Yep.
Stripes and bright stars through
Thank you, Betty Jean Ham. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your respect.
That was Betty Jean Hanna, very own here from Moorpark College. Great job on singing the national anthem. With that, we will be right back with a few messages from our sponsors, and we will be here for game time for your coverage of the Moorpark Raiders versus the Palomar Comets.
Field judge Steve.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your coverage of Moorpark College football. This is the game between the Moorpark Raiders and the visitors, the Palomar Comets. We're about 5 minutes until kickoff here in beautiful Moorpark College, home of the Raiders here at Griffin Stadium, and it looks like the Moorpark Raiders are ready to come out. We have the cheerleaders down on the field. They're set up right there because the Moorpark Raiders are going to be bursting through there. Palomar Comets are currently walking onto the field right now. We actually have some captains down on the field. Number 90, you can see Richard Watkins. Drew Mathis, number 10. Number 28, Anthony McLean. And number 5, Mark Martin. They're going to be your captains tonight for the Moorpark Raiders. But coming into this game, I mean, this is just a beautiful night. Don't you think so right now, Wyatt?
Well, like you said, this night, if the Moorpark Raiders play as good as this night is, hopefully it'll be a win for us.
Yes, and we definitely need a win. It seems like we're just not able to get the offense clicking, but it looks like, at least from what I was speaking to Coach Mike Stewart in the past few days, we were able to speak a little bit, and he said that this team, they were just, I guess, a little rusty. They were just not clicking. He thinks that this should be a comeback game coming up to Fullerton next weekend, so this should be a great game.
Yeah.
We should be able to come out strong.
I'm wondering if the Moorpark Raiders' morals and how they're feeling, if they're excited for this to start, if they're nervous, if they're hoping for a victory. You wonder what's going on in their minds right now as they come to this game where it seems to be pretty evenly matched teams.
Yes, it is pretty evenly matched teams, but as we have a few moments right now, we're going to thank a few of our sponsors because our sponsors, we cannot do it without them, so thank you very much. U.S. Army, go on business trips with a company like no other. U.S. Army. Wells Fargo, together we'll go far. Wells Fargo. UCLA Health, it begins with you. UCLA Health. And Moorpark Center for Dentistry. We care about our community as much as you do. Moorpark Center for Dentistry. Once again, thank you very much to all of our sponsors. We cannot do it without you. And we are now ready. It looks like the coin toss is up. Moorpark College has actually won the toss. They are deferring to the second half. Palomar is actually going to receive the kick, so of course Moorpark's going to be kicking it off. Palomar is going to be receiving it on the left end of the field. So Moorpark Raiders starting off on the defensive side. This defense, they have to step it up. It's going to be our first time seeing them at home, of course, that first game. But this is going to be our second time seeing them at home, but first time after all these changes, after all the turmoil that they've done through all the I don't want to say losing streak, but it is a losing streak that we are on right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think about it, the first game we played of the season was at home, and we ended up winning. So I wonder if that home game or home field advantage has any leeway on how the Moorpark Raiders are pumped for this game. The home advantage has a lot of advantage during games like this, so that could be a huge potential for a victory for Moorpark.
Yes, the home field advantage is going to be great, and especially with us having our cheerleaders out. I know we've been mentioning this a lot through the season because it is a big thing.
Yeah.
We had about 14 cheerleaders last year, about 23, give or take a few. I know it's around mid-20s of cheerleaders this season, and we were without cheerleaders for a good amount of time. We were without cheerleaders for about 10 years. So with just even that, I know from being a former athlete myself, when you have the cheerleaders with you, when you have the fans behind you, just one of them is gone, you don't feel that you don't feel that excitement as much. You have to motivate yourself a little bit more. So it's great to see them out there. It's great to see the fans out here, and hopefully we'll be able to come out just as strong as we did that first game of the season.
Exactly.
And hopefully we'll be able to get that victory.
Yeah, and I think these cheerleaders coming out is a super cool thing for just Moorpark College in general, not just the football team, but the whole college in general, because it's great that we can have a club like cheerleading where we're really able to just have people able to participate and really invest in their college.
And what Wyatt is talking about, the cheerleading is still a club right now. It has not been marked as a sport just yet because of this just happening. Since the cheerleaders just came onto the scene right now in the past 2 years, they have not been able to be a sport yet, but in a little bit of time they will be marked as a sport instead of just a club, and they'll be traveling everywhere. So we do thank the cheerleaders, but it is time for the kickoff, the opening kickoff here for the Moorpark Raiders versus the Palomar Comets.
Looks like the team is excited down there. Hopefully that'll carry out throughout the game.
Here comes the kick. It's a short kick. It's going to be fielded right around the 20-yard line. Bringing it up, has a few blockers in front of him. Trying to move a stiff arm move, but he's brought down at the 25. Basically no gain.
Looks like that was Lorenzo Buradi with that number 19. Actually, I don't know if I got that correct.
Yes, that was number 19 of the Moorpark Raiders. Yes, and now coming out on the field is going to be the Comets offense. They're going to be starting at their own 25-yard line, so basically NFL-like touchback, you could say. They're coming out with number 2, as we were talking about, Matt Romero. He is that star quarterback in the game for the Comets. We have a zone defense that we are in. Romero dropping back. A little short screen play. It's picked up, but he's still on his feet, but he is finally brought down by a multitude of Raiders in the backfield. Great job right there by the Raider defense.
Looks like that was J.J. Durden. Super cool by him because he was able to get back. He had contact, and then he was able to get back up and really finish the job of tackling him.
Isaiah Guerrero, number 3, that was the running back in the game, and with the catch right there. Number 13, Devin Nilsson, is the wide receiver on the near sideline. We have 2 spread out wide on the far sideline with 1 in the slot. Got a tight end in the game as well. That's actually number 81 for the Comets, Chase Olson. On the far sideline, we also have Marquise Williams. That's number 1. He is in the slot. He's actually the one that was one of the return men. He wasn't the one that returned the kick because it was a squib-type kick. This brings up a 2nd down and 12. Romero dropping back to pass. Pass is completed to his running back, tiptoeing on the sideline, but it seems like he stepped out of bounds just past the 30 at the 32-yard line. That was Aguero once again.
So that was Drew Mathis, number 10, who was able to really push him outside the sidelines. You know, already so far, just within the first couple plays of this game, we've already seen a lot of passing on the Palomar Comets side.
Yes, you're going to see that a lot more throughout the night, and as we have number 8, Nate Johnson, is on the far sideline. That's that last wide receiver on their lineup. They also have, those are actually their top 3 wide receivers. As you know, I was talking about in the pregame, that one wide receiver that has over 200 yards. He actually has 286 yards. I believe I said about 240 in the pregame show, so my apologies. 286 yards receiving on 2 touchdowns. He has 14 receptions on the season, so make sure that you watch him because he is going to get the ball passed to him a lot. J.J. Durden, number 15, is actually the quarterback on him. We got a 3rd down. It's going to be a 3rd down and 3. First 3rd down of the game. Moorpark Raiders are going to be tested right now. Romero drawing back to pass. Pass is incomplete. Intended receiver was Nate Johnson.
It was like Braxton Rogers right there. Was able to really just sort of shake up the receiver when he was trying to catch that.
Yes, and he made a great break on it to be able to make sure he did not receive it. That should have been a catchable pass, though. Nate Johnson, if you have the football in your hands, it touched both of his hands. That should have been an easy catch for him, especially with him already have 286 yards on the season. He is basically their main wide receiver. He has to step it up, and he has to make sure that he makes that reception. Brings up a 4th down and 3. Vincent Corso, number 20, at his own 30, back to receive the punt.
Oop.
It's going to be a penalty flag. Looks like they're calling delay of game right now. And yes, it will be delay of game. One of the things, the play clock is actually right underneath the scoreboard, also right underneath the American flag, so both teams can see it fairly well, so that's just a little mental lapse. Moorpark dropping back, trying to give Vinny Corso some blockers. Vinny doesn't have any blockers, though. Caught it at his own 30, and he's brought down immediately. The ball is out, but it looks like it will be out on contact. Avery Harris, number 87, on the tackle.
There's the Lorenzo again, getting on that ball.
Vinny Corso should have called for a fair catch. Usually he always calls for a fair catch on the punts that we've seen this season.
Yeah.
But for some reason he didn't look for that fair catch call.
I remember during Long Beach, he called almost every single catch was a fair catch. Or sorry, every single return was a fair catch.
Moorpark Raiders coming out for the first time in this game. It's going to be a first down and 10. They're going to have the ball at their own 25-yard line. Tanner Darling, number 22, coming out trying to make sure this offense gets some points up on the board this game. Hopefully the first touchdown. And he has a man wide open. Cameron Prentice Brown, number 81, lead wide receiver, down at the 10. Touchdown, Raiders. Cameron Prentice Brown.
You know, that was just what we were talking about, that chemistry with the offense. It's paid off. Darling saw him in his sights, saw Cameron Brown, and just nailed a perfect shot for him.
And as you mentioned, that chemistry, Cameron Prentice Brown, lead wide receiver, all their practices, it's always Darling to Prentice Brown, and we saw that. Just a big mind lapse, just a mental lapse in the coverage because he was wide open in the middle of the field. If you have seen any tape out of Moorpark College, you have seen that big running game, but when they pass the ball, it's almost always to Prentice Brown. So great job by Raiders, able to get
however we can take the points, you know?
Yeah, it's his first touchdown in 2 games. Actually, first touchdown. Yeah, the past 2 games, we have not scored a touchdown. We had 2 points in the El Camino game and 3 points in the Long Beach City College game. Already 7 in this game alone with 2 minutes off of the clock.
Wow.
That PAT attempt was up, and it was good. So the Moorpark Raiders coming back on the defensive side, up by 7.
You know, I wonder if the coach, Mike Stewart, has really just sort of inflamed them in the fire to, you know, keep fighting, keep pushing hard, and work hard and get that payoff.
Yeah, and that did pay off because, I mean, Tanner Darling, he looked very good out there. The offensive line looked nice as well because Tanner Darling was able to stay in the pocket. That's one of the things that we talked about in the pregame show, that offensive line has to step up so Tanner Darling does not have to run around with basically a vicious dog attacking him because all these guys are trying to sack him down. I mean, he is always rolling out to one sideline to be able to make a pass. He's always throwing on the run, so it's great to see him actually stay in the pocket.
Yeah, exactly. And he probably had a clearer mind as he had that extra few seconds just to really think about what he was about to do, and saw Cameron Brown in his sights.
Here's the kickoff. Recovered at their own 17. That's Williams, Marquise Williams. Has some blockers in front of him, but he's brought down at the 35.
Look, that was number 6. That was...
Yeah, Edgin Bata.
Edgin Bata, yeah.
And yes, Edgin Bata is back in the game. He was out in the last game. He was actually out in the past 2 games because he got a little bit of an injury against El Camino, but he is back, and hopefully he'll be used in this Raiders offense since he is just great at the – I mean, he's listed as a tight end, but it seems like he's basically that wildcat.
Yeah.
That wildcat quarterback through the whole entire first game of the season before he got injured. Now coming back on a first down and 10 at their own 35. Dropping back to pass, has nobody. Richard Watkins leading the charge, but pass is completed to the tight end at the 40-yard line.
Drew Mathis there with a touchdown, 6'4", 235 pounds. Able to get him down before he was able to go any farther.
Number 81, Chase Olson, the 6'2", 215-pound sophomore tight end with the catch. Now it sets up a second down and 5. Romero in the shotgun formation once again. Has a 4 wide receiver set, 2 in the slot, 3 on the far side. Pass is completed to the near sideline. Brought down just past the first down marker. Nate Johnson, number 8, wide receiver on the catch.
A little pushing going on down there. Seems like there's already a little bit of tension between these 2 teams.
As you see, Braxton Rogers, number 21, the defensive back, the cornerback that has the job of guarding Nate Johnson right now in coverage. As you were mentioning, that little jawing, that little pushing back and forth.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be seen between them two if it goes like this for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Number 31, Norio Thomas, is also out there in coverage. A fake jet stream, handoff straight up the middle to the running back. A 2-yard gain for Aguero.
Number 58, that was Mike Monette, defensive end, getting him down before he can go any farther. The rushing there wasn't as, I mean, it was only one play, but the rushing on Palomar's side was not as strong as their passing so far. Passing seems to be a real strength for the Palomar Comets. So.
And we've seen that throughout this whole entire season for Palomar. That's what they're known for.
Yeah.
Johnson on the near sideline. We got a 2nd down and 8. Olsen was the man in motion. It's going to be a fake handoff. Play action. Pass completed to Williams, but brought down immediately. That was Norio Thomas on the tackle.
Yeah, Norio Thomas, safety, 5'10", 188 pounds, able to get in there before he got any farther.
And that was a great coverage. I mean, he read the quarterback's eyes, and he knew exactly where he was going to pass it to, and he met him right when he caught the ball. So great job right there by Thomas. Number 23, Rashad Harper. He's the wide receiver on the near sideline. J.J. Durden is matched up with him. 3rd down and 9. Romero drawn back to pass. In coverage, pass is completed. That's Nate Johnson, number 8, with the catch.
Wow. Great passing there by Palomar.
Landon Alatorre, strong safety, number 14, was there for the tackle.
Yeah.
He's back there in the safety position with Hayden Galvin, number 17.
Looks like Matt Romero just has his eyes open and is just really aware of where all of his players are throughout the field.
One good thing about Romero, he looks off the cornerbacks. He looks off those defensive backs so he can make the right pass. He doesn't just look at one guy at a time. 1st down and 10. Pass thrown deep in the end zone.
Flags.
There are penalty flags, as you mentioned. J.J. Durden and Hayden Galvin were there on the coverage against number 1, Marquise Williams. It looks like it's going to be a defensive pass interference.
You know, great job on J.J. Durden. How like we're talking about in the pregame show, how he was able to just stay on that wide receiver and really not able to, or kept him from making that catch. We'll see what this flag is on over here.
Most likely will be against the defense. Always when you're a cornerback, you have to look at the ball when you're jumping up. It looked like Durden kind of had his eyes on the receiver. And yes, it will be against J.J. Durden, as just said, number 15, pass interference against the defense. So that's going to take a lot of momentum out of Moorpark. They were able to force a 3rd down, basically after 3rd down, but the Comets, they're just making some nice pass plays and able to get out of those 3rd down situations.
Brings it to 9 and goal.
Yes, it's going to be 1st down and goal at the 9-yard line. So that's interesting. Usually, at least I know this is NFL rules, and I believe this is also community college rules. It's half the distance to the goal line off of a pass interference call. They were at the 26-yard line, so I don't know why they're at the 9-yard line, but the handoff is straight up the middle. Touchdown for Aguero, starting off for the Comets, putting some points up on the board.
You know, Matt Romero and Isaiah Aguero, the running back and the quarterback, they have some good chemistry, how they're able to pass that ball off really fast, and that was an incredible play, how they were able to just subtly pass that, and he was just, Aguero was just able to cut through that defensive line and just make it into the end zone.
That pass interference play was a 15-yard penalty. That's why they were set up on the 9-yard line. PAT attempt is up, and it is good. It's straight through the uprights. 7-7, the score still stands here at Moorpark College, Griffin Stadium, home of the Raiders.
All new ball game right now.
Yes, it is basically a whole new ball game. But as we have a little bit of break in the coverage, we're going to thank a few more of our sponsors. Of course, we cannot do it without you, so thank you very much. The lender you can call home, PennyMac. Let us tackle all your mortgage needs at PennyMac. DCH Auto Group, delivering customer happiness. DCH Auto Group. Nationwide is on your side. Nationwide. Jersey Mike Subs, since 1956, a sub above. Jersey Mike Subs. And Jersey Mike Subs is actually going to be our halftime show sponsor. We actually have the owner, Rich Vitolo, who is actually going to be joining us for an interview, so make sure that you stay tuned with us for that halftime show. But once again, thank you very much to all of our sponsors.
That was a nice little jingle there, Nationwide. Great job singing it.
I felt like Peyton Manning when I was doing that.
I'm going to Disneyland.
Yeah, I had to channel my inner Manning, my inner forehead, I guess you could say. But here comes the kickoff. Comets kicking the ball off to the Raiders. Back to receive, number 25, Ray Thomas on the near sideline and Vincent Corso on the far sideline. Thomas gets it at his own 9. He's going to have a fake pitch. It's going to be a fake reverse down to past the 20, down at the 25. Looked like he was trying to give it to Tawan Funches, but made a fake on the play to try to get a few extra yards.
Yeah, that was Raymond Thomas, number 25, with that run, and he made a head-to-head comment with one of the Comets players.
Yeah, when you see that head-to-head contact, you're always a little scared if that's going to be a concussion or anything. So he may have to go through the protocol.
Wasn't there a movie, Concussion, Will Smith?
Yes.
Yeah, it
was. Yeah, solid movie right there. Vincent Corso just went to his own sideline on a 1st down and 10 at the 25, handoff straight up the middle.
Ooh.
He is stopped immediately by almost the whole Comet team.
Yeah.
Looks like that was Ray Thomas, number 25, on the carry. Cameron Prentice-Brown now back in for the Moorpark Raiders.
Yeah, Ray Thomas and Mark Martin, the 2 running backs. I mean, look at this. Like, Ray Thomas is, 5'9", 180, while Mark Martin's 6'1", 230 pounds. Just huge differences, the size of these guys.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Ryan Matlock, wide receiver on the bottom of your screen. Number 4, Cameron Prentice-Brown in the slot, number 81. Darling looks to Martin, but Martin drops the ball. Incomplete pass, setting up a 3rd down and 10 for the Raiders.
Looks like Martin over there was signaling with his hand that it looks like the sun got in his eyes right there at the 20-yard line.
It's funny because that's basically the only spot that the sun is on.
Literally that one little strip right there.
Vincent Corso back in the game is on the slot on your far sideline, joined by William Boucher, number 23. Ryan Matlock, Cameron Prentice-Brown on the near sideline. Darling looking back to pass. He has the pressure coming at him. Almost got it to Matlock, but it will be an incomplete pass. Number 87 was there on the pressure, Avery Harris.
Honestly, just like a half second there with Tanner Darling, he would have been able to make that throw to Ryan Matlock.
Excuse me, that's a correction. Number 97, Anthony Zuniga. No, he's that 6 foot, 270-pound defensive lineman that brought the pressure to Darling. That's going to set up a 4th down and 10. It's going to be obvious punting situation for Moorpark. We have a man in motion. The ball is up. It's deep. A fair catch is called right at the 37-yard line by number 13 out there for the Comets, Devin Nilsson, the wide receiver.
Good punt there by Riley Garrett, getting it all the way across the field.
Now coming back with the Moorpark Raiders being stopped on that last offensive possession and the Comets getting a touchdown on their last offensive possession. What are you looking to see out of the Moorpark defense to make sure that they step up so the momentum doesn't go fully towards Palomar?
Well, I mean, they need to realize they've seen it so far this game, but there's so much passing going on. They need to keep their eyes open. They need to be running fast, running hard, playing hard. For those cornerbacks blocking well.
It's going to be a handoff. Off the right tackle. He's brought down at the 41. Once again, that's Aguero.
Yeah, there's honestly seems to be some incredible chemistry on the Palomar side with Matt Romero and Isaiah Aguero. Isaiah Aguero. My bad.
Yes, he's one of the running backs that they are using for the Comets. Looks like they're in a nickel defense for the Moorpark Raiders. They have those 5 defensive backs, 2 linebackers, 4 defensive linemen out there. 8 minutes, 40 seconds left on the play clock. Pass is incomplete. Main wide receiver once again. Seems like he's going to have Butterfingers calling him up after this game.
A lot of Butterfinger sponsors at the Long Beach game the other night.
Yes.
Nate Johnson, yeah, it looks like he honestly just looked like he got a little ahead of himself. He went for the catch and started running, though, when it wasn't fully in his arms or in his hands. So just a little slow down there. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, you want to make sure you look the ball into your hands before you look down the field.
Get that sponsor from Butterfingers, then take off.
3rd down and 6.
Ooh.
A quick pitch up forward. That was almost like a Tim Tebow-esque pass when he was back in his days in Florida. The pass is incomplete, though, once again from Romero to Aguero, which sets up a 4th down.
A lot of turnovers so far in this game. It seems to be pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of turnover on downs. They are just the defense is definitely stepping up right now.
It's good for the defense too. I mean, they've been, like we've said, they've been consistent all season. They against the game against Long Beach, like they were doing consistent. It was just those passes and just a couple of those really good tosses that they really just found a little of a weak spot.
Vincent Corso, star return man, back for the Moorpark Raiders. It's going to be a returnable punt, but it's going to take a little bit of a Palomar bounce. Not enough of a good bounce for Vincent Corso to return it, so it will be brought down at the 14-yard line for the Raiders. They'll take over.
Tanner Darling, let's hope he's comfortable right now. Let's hope that he's able to just think clearly that the defense is able just to clear a path for him, just to be able to take that extra few seconds even just to help him clear his mind and just make the passes that are important for the team.
Back out here are the Moorpark Raiders with a 1st down and 10 at their own 14. Christian Graves, wide receiver, number 11 on the far sideline. Got Mark Martin, Anthony McLean in the backfield. Tanner Darling in the shotgun formation. Excuse me, that's actually Edgin Bata who's back in.
Wow.
Bata swing down to the 20.
Great job there by Edgin Bata. He found a little hole that was created by, looks like it was 77. That's Baron Holtz, who really just cleared that path for him.
Mark Martin's lined up as a wide receiver. I knew he was in the game, but he was not in the backfield. He's lined up in the slot position. But it's going to be a 2nd down and 5 after the handoff to Bata. Excuse me, a 2nd down and 4. Fake handoff, quarterback keeper.
Oh.
They sniffed that out right away, brought down for a few-inch loss.
Honestly, there just shows Tanner Darling just, sacrifice, just throwing his body at, anything that can gain him a couple more yards to, just encourage the team, spur on the team.
Vincent Corso back in the game. Christian Graves, Vincent Corso on the far sideline. Cameron Prentice Brown is back in the game in the slot on the near sideline with Lorenzo Berardi. 3rd and 5. 7:15 left in the 1st quarter, and it's going to be a false start penalty against the offense.
It looked like it was Cameron Prentice Brown right there. Just got a little ahead of himself.
It's going to be a 5-yard penalty, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 instead of a 3rd down and 5.
Raiders!
So a little bit more difficult on this conversion for the Raiders.
Raiders! Let's hear it!
7-7, the score still stands in this heated competition between the Moorpark Raiders and the Palomar Comets.
Oh,
there is another penalty flag. Don't be too surprised if it's encroachment on the defense, maybe a neutral zone infraction. I saw the whole entire defensive line move a little forward, so it's going to be interesting what their call is.
Yeah, you were right.
Yes, it is going to be encroachment on the defense. One thing that Tanner Darling is doing well is he's using that hard count. He's making sure that he does not just snap the ball after he says hut or he says, that one key word that all the teams use. Of course, each team, they have a different word that they use usually. But Tanner Darling was able to force the defense to make a move and touch one of the offensive linemen to get that encroachment penalty. It's going to be a 6:40 left in the 1st quarter. 7-7 score still stands. Another penalty flag is down on the field. It's going to be false start on the offense. So a false start penalty going back to a 3rd down and 10. An encroachment penalty going to a 3rd down and 5. And now another false start going back to a 3rd down and 10. I mean, this is ridiculous how many penalties just in this one time. There were 3 penalties before the snap even happened.
Maybe we could just come full circle. Maybe they can just do another encroachment so we can go back to that 3 and 5.
Hey, I'd be fine with 3rd down and 5 as well. Darling dropping back to pass. No penalty flag out.
Oh,
Pressure is coming.
Oh.
And he is brought down for the sack. That's number 44 out there for the Comets, bringing him down. Malu Malatomi.
Looks like that was Spencer Reed, 56, that was on him, but
And that will bring up a 4th down and 12. Malu Tuamu was actually there for the sack. Now, obvious punting situation once again for the Raiders on a 4th down and 12. The punt is high, it's deep. It's going to be fair caught at the 48-yard line, their own 48-yard line once again by Devin Nilsson.
Well, a great speed there by Raymond Thomas. Like, he was almost on top of the receiver when he caught the ball. Good call in there on Palomar's part, calling a fair catch though.
Making sure he's not lit up on the catch, because he would have definitely,
yeah,
he would have definitely been laid out after that with how fast those Raiders were running towards him. But setting up a 1st down and 10 at their own 48-yard line for the Comets. Nilsson on the far sideline. Got Williams on the near sideline alongside Johnson. Johnson's the man in motion. A handoff straight up the middle of Aguero. Aguero brought down at the 50. Ray Thomas and Drew Mathis was there.
Great work there by Aguero. He was able to find a small hole there and just push through.
Excuse me, I meant Richard Watkins, number 90. Ray Thomas.
Ray Thomas?
He's definitely not making any tackles anytime soon.
Yeah, Richard Watkins.
Yeah, this brings up a 2nd down and 8 at the 50. Romero in the shotgun formation. Dropping back to pass. Passes tipped, incomplete.
Wow, that looked like a tip there by, who was that? Was that 24? Oh, 94. That was Jelan Vologa, the defensive end.
Yeah, Jalen Volowaga.
Volowaga.
Yeah, it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8. The pass was intended for the running back, Aguero. Now in the game, they have a 4 wide receiver set, bringing in Rashad Harper, number 23. 2 in the slot on a 3rd down and 8 at the 50. Romero dropping back to pass, looking far sideline. Williams intended wide receiver, but it is an incomplete pass, bringing up a 4th and 8. Coverage was by Braxton Rogers, the cornerback. He had great coverage right there. It still was not a catchable pass. It was about a few feet above the wide receiver, so he wasn't going to catch it, but still Rogers was right there just in case if the ball came close enough for Williams to get his mitts on it.
Yeah.
Just actually under 5 minutes left, 4:55 to be exact in the first quarter of action, 7-7. Score still stands. Vincent Corso back to receive the punt. It's going to take a Raider bounce to the 18,
Number 64,
where the Moorpark Raiders will be starting off this drive. Now coming back out, the past 2 drives they have been stopped. The Moorpark Raiders, that is, on their own side of the field, haven't been able to march forward. No 1st downs on those 2 drives. So what are you going to see out of this Moorpark Raider offense about to come up and try to get that momentum back on their side?
Well, I mean, so far Tanner Darling has already exceeded our expectations so far in this game. He's really shown that dual threat quarterback. Just momentum is how he's just so sacrificial with his body.
Anthony McLean gets the handoff, only able to get back to the line of scrimmage, brought down by that was a bunch of Comets that actually brought him down.
The Comets defense right now is extremely strong, but the offensive, our offense is still doing incredible against them, pushing through.
Christian Graves, number 11, wide receiver on the near sideline with Cameron Prentice-Brown in the slot and Vincent Corso as well. Tanner Darling in the shotgun formation. It's going to be a 2nd down and 10. Excuse me, he actually got a yard on the play. That's Anthony McLean. So it'll be a 2nd down and 9. The ball is tipped up in the air. Vincent Corso actually dove straight towards it, but it looks like it will be an incomplete pass.
I didn't see who tipped it, but yeah, Corso almost got under that and was able to make a catch off of that.
Yes, is now going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 for the Moorpark Raiders. Number 19, Lorenzo Berardi, is the wide receiver on the far sideline. Same wide receivers on the near sideline with Vincent Corso, Camden Prentice Brown, and Christian Graves. Vinny Corso is actually in motion on the far sideline. Tanner Darling has some pressure towards him. There is a penalty flag. Darling, pass completed to Camden Prentice Brown. He is lit up, but it will be a catch and it will be a 1st down, depending on what the penalty is. Maxwell Scott, number 6, there for the tackle. There is still a penalty flag. Most likely it's going to be a holding penalty against the offense. It looked like that would have been a holding penalty with all the defensive linemen, offensive linemen on the ground.
Yeah.
But still, it is up in the air. The refs are still talking about it a little bit. But if the call was not against Moorpark, that would have been a 1st down, good enough for a 1st down for the Raiders off of the catch by Cameron Prentice Brown. Yeah, it's going to be an illegal block by the Moorpark Raiders. Palomar is going to decline the penalty, so it's still going to be a 4th down, just a 4th down and 9 instead of that 1st down. So a little unfortunate for the Moorpark Raiders that the only way they get a 1st down on this drive is by holding. So, by doing a legal block. It looked like it was a chipping.
Yeah.
A chip block.
I remember during the Long Beach game there was a lot of unfortunate flags that went against us. Actually, there was confusion, I remember, last game with some flags.
Here comes the punt once again. 3 straight punts, almost blocked. It's deep. Collected at the 42, and he's brought down right there.
Number 42, that was Bradley Canepa. Great job hopping on that. He was able to grab his sort of ankle leg and sort of bring him down.
David Urizer.
They're saying that he had a little bit of forward momentum, so he's going to be brought down at the 42. So that's where the Comets are going to take over on this drive with 3:45 left in the 1st quarter. 7-7, the score still stands. It seems like it's a punting game right now with how the defenses are playing.
A lot of back and forth with the punters. We'll see how our defensive end holds up right now. They've been doing strong. They've been doing well so far this game.
Same formation. That was that fake jet stream. It's going to be a handoff to Aguero. Aguero off the left tackle down to the 45.
Dang, Aguero's strength is just unmatched so far. It took 3 of our guys to bring him down.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 6, just past the 45, down to the 46. Romero, quarterback in the shotgun formation. Drops back to pass, looking far sideline to Aguero. Drew Mathis trying to bring him down with one hand, cannot. Braxton Rogers just has to push him out of bounds for a 1st down.
Forced out of bounds by number 10, Mathis.
That's going to be a 1st down, of course, down at the 44-yard line, Moorpark's 44-yard line. So the Comets, once again, they are in Raider territory.
44-yard line.
Wondering how the defensive feels about that. It's probably nerve-wracking having the offense right on your heels.
On a 1st down and 10, pass is completed to the far sideline, breaking a tackle, has a few men to be, and he's actually going to be brought down. He's dragged down from behind at the 15-yard line.
Drew Mathis there, number 10. Wow. Took a lot to bring him down.
And finally, Nate Johnson, number 8, the wide receiver that dropped 2 of his previous passes, finally able to catch that one.
Yeah.
But the Comets are going to be in the red zone. So great positioning for them with a 1st down and 10 at the 15. Looking far sideline, protection is amazing. Pass completed to Aguero behind the line of scrimmage, able to nuzzle through for a 2-yard gain.
The protection, like you were saying, for Palomar, for the Comets is incredible. Looks like 58 is coming out. Mike Monette.
Second down and 8 for the Comets.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 8. Ball at the 13-yard line. 23, Rashad Harper is the wide receiver on the near sideline. It's going to be a timeout, though.
Timeout taken by the Moorpark College.
So it's going to be a timeout against the Moorpark Raiders here in the 1st quarter. 2 minutes, just about 2 minutes left in the 1st quarter of action. The score is 7-7. We'll be back with more of your action, your 1st quarter action in this game between the Moorpark Raiders and Palomar Comets in just a few moments. We're going to have some messages from our sponsors.
Jersey, Mike.
I also didn't want to get interfered.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again. 7-7, the score still stands. Palomar is at the 13-yard line, knocking on the door of the end zone. Romero, pass to the far sideline. No good. It's just a little bit out of bounds, just outside of the reach.
That was number 14, Landon Alatorre, able to sort of distract that receiver as he was looking to make the catch. Coming in, probably give him a little bit of pressure.
Nate Johnson, number 8, was the intended wide receiver on the play. This will now bring up a 3rd down and 8. Number 1, Marquise Williams. Number 13, Devin Nilsson. Number 23, Rashad Harper on the near sideline. 2 in the slot. We got a 4 wide receiver set. Nate Johnson on the far sideline. He has some pressure. Romero trying to evade the pressure, but he's brought down for a sack. Moorpark Raiders bring him down with Ryan Schmerbeck. Number 47.
Schmerbeck using his strength to bring him down. The defensive end, 6'2", 230 pounds, out of Moorpark, California. So a homeboy right here. Just coming to the community college here.
It's going to be a 4th down. A 4th down and 15 to be exact at the 21-yard line. Excuse me, it's actually going to be a 4th down and 16 at the 21.
Tyler Vargas on for the field goal attempt.
This is going to be about a 39-yard field goal attempt right here for the Comets with 1:20 left in the first quarter.
Oh.
It's blocked. It's blocked by Hayden Galvin, number 17. It's recovered at the 15-yard line, bringing it back, has some blockers in front of him, and the kicker makes the tackle. That's number 40, Daniel Henderson, who had the return.
That was great by Daniel Henderson. Did you see who happened to tip that? I mean, I believe it was...
Yes, it was number 6. No, excuse me, that was number 17, Hayden Galvin.
17, Hayden Galvin.
Tyler Vargas, number 16, came up with the tackle. He's the kicker as well.
Great job on Hayden Galway's part.
Yes, it's going to be a 1st down and 10 for the Moorpark Raiders, coming back on the offensive end after the electrifying block on the field goal attempt by the Comets.
Honestly, I'm really glad that happened because, I mean, first off, it's good for us, but secondly, like, this is going to give the team momentum. It's something like that that's just really going to spur them on to continue that hard work and that determination.
New wide receiver in Curtis Couliard. He is number 33. He was on the far sideline. We do have a timeout coming right now. And while we have a timeout, we are going to thank a few of our sponsors right now. We cannot do it without our sponsors, so we're going to thank a few of them right now, such as Los Robles Hospital and Medical Center, well within reach. Los Robles Hospital and Medical Center. Cricket, something to smile about. Cricket Wireless. Stonefire Grill, where community is served. Stonefire Grill. IBEW Local 47, Southern California's life-powered for 125 years. IBEW Local 47. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. And now we are back with a 1st down and 10 at the 22-yard line, their own 22-yard line. Ray Thomas, man in motion. Jet stream handoff. Ray Thomas has a blocker in front of him, but he's brought down right at the 29-yard line.
Great job, Cameron Prentice-Brown again. He was able to hold off that defensive line just a little bit longer to get a few more yards for the running back. Or sorry, for 25 it was. That was
Ray Thomas.
Ray Thomas, yeah, the running back, correct.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 3 with the clock winding down. 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Christian Graves, number 11, gets the pass completed down to the 42-yard line on the near sideline.
A lot of passing going on so far this game. I mean, pretty even between rushing and passing for the Moorpark Raiders, but definitely a boost in what we've seen in the last couple of games where it's been mostly rushing. A lot of good passes so far this game.
1st down and 10. Couliard is on the far sideline, spread out wide. Anthony McLean gets the handoff. He has a blocker in front of him. Tiptoes down the sideline. It looks like he has the 1st down, and yes, he does.
28, number 28, Anthony McLean, the running back, 6 foot nothing, 280 pounds, sophomore out of Texas.
It's going to be a 1st down and 10, ball at the 48. McLean gets the handoff once again. He is met right at the line of scrimmage. And he's going to be brought down exactly at the line of scrimmage. They're going to call him down at the 48. And the clock is going to run out. That was the first quarter action. We're going to be back in just a few moments for your second quarter action here for the Moorpark Raiders versus the Palomar Comets. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are here with second quarter coverage of your Moorpark Raider football team. The score is 7-7. Starting off the second quarter, Moorpark Raiders have not been able to get a score on the board since their first possession, their first drive of the game. Palomar Comets, their first drive ended up with a 3-and-out, but they were able to get a touchdown on their second drive, but nothing happened really after those first two drives of the game for those players. So
yeah,
it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these guys are going to be able to come out here.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, like you mentioned last quarter, it was like a punting game. You know, they'd punt the ball, they'd run it, and then they'd punt it back, they'd run it. So hope to see some action here for the Moorpark Raiders, get a couple more touchdowns in, a couple more points.
The Raiders are going to be coming out with a first down and 10 at their own 40. Excuse me, it's actually going to be I believe a second down and 10 at their own 48-yard line. We got Tanner Darling. Tanner Darling once again the quarterback in. And yes, once again he's going to be at his 48-yard line. He's in the shotgun formation with a 4 wide receiver set, 2 in the slot, overriding the far side with 3 wide receivers. Pass completed. Twan Funches, number 34, another running back, has his elusiveness, able to get to the line, the first down marker, but there's a fumble on the play. I wonder if it's going to be marked down by contact. It looks like he was down by contact, but we're still awaiting the call.
Great run by Tawan Funches, though. Oh, it looks like we're going to get it.
And yes, Tawan Funches able to get a first down.
First down, Raiders.
No fumble on the play. It's a first down and 10 at the 41-yard line. It looks like it should have been an offsides penalty against the defense, but the pass is incomplete. Intended for Christian Graves. It seems like he didn't even look that way because the quarterback was right there.
Number 11, Graves was the intended receiver. Second down, 10.
Number 44 was actually there. He had some nice, that was actually number 11 right there with the great coverage by Palomar.
It's 11. Christian Graves.
That was Johnny Arzola.
Oh, excuse me. He's
going to set up a second down and 10. Tanner Darling goes on a quarterback keeper, but he is met immediately for a loss of 2, brought down.
Hard hit there by Tanner Darling.
Number 36.
But like, I've said earlier, he takes those hits for the team and just seems to shake him off and keep up that determination throughout the game.
Number 36, Chandler Waschultz was actually there for the tackle. Number 17, Devontae Woods was also there just for a little protection, just in case if he was unable to get the tackle. 14 minutes left in the first half, second quarter of action. Same formation. Darling dropping back to pass, feels the pressure. Ryan Matlock intended wide receiver, and it is not caught. It looks like it was right in his hands. He had that, but it slipped out.
I'm sure Ryan Matlock right now, number 4, is feeling that he knew how close he was to catching that ball. Just bummed out, I'm sure.
Wow, that was right in his hands. Number 14 was there on some nice coverage. Danny Wood was the defensive back, 5'11", 175-pound sophomore. And it looked like he was actually able to get a hand on it, but Ryan Matlock, that was right in his hands. He should have had that one.
He knows he should have had that one too. He's bummed. I'm looking at him right now.
going to be a 4th down and 11. There is a penalty flag down on the field. It is going to be a false start penalty against the offense. Once again, a false start penalty. Their 3rd false start penalty of the game already. Of course, we haven't had a false start since that weird exchange where we had a false start and encroachment and then false start, which went from a 3rd and 5 to a 3rd and 10 to a 3rd and 5 to a 3rd and 10. So we haven't had that for a little while, but once again, starting off the 2nd quarter with that. Just about a minute off of the play clock with just under 14 minutes left. A high sky punt. It looks like it takes a Raider bounce and it's touched. It's touched. It's touched by the Comets. It's touched by the Comets. It looks like that should be a touchdown. And it is a touchdown. Number 9 for the Raiders, able to sweep in there. Richard Goldhammer getting the touchdown for the Moorpark Raiders.
Wow, was that a break for them? They're excited. They're feeling that right now. Good for them. Wow.
Number 13, Devin Nilsson, the return man. He had his back turned towards the football, and it just took a Raider bounce, and it took even a better Raider bounce because it hit one of the Comets, and it bounced right in the end zone. The Raider just had to go on there and sweep it up. Wow, number 9, Richard Goldhammer, able to recover that for the touchdown. Great play right there by the special teams, but an even better play by the special teams on the Comets, blocking that PAT attempt. Vinny Corso using his speed to dive on it, though, to be able to make sure it's not, make sure that it doesn't go towards the Comets right there. There is a penalty flag on the field, though.
Great speed there shown by Vinny Corso. He was able to even outrun Hess, come from behind start there when he was chasing that football, but he was able to use his speed and catch up and get it.
On the kicking team, the penalty will be declined.
The penalty is going to be declined. It was a legal formation by Moorpark College, so it will be Palomar football with a 13-7 lead for your Moorpark Raiders. Now, Wyatt, a play like that, how much confidence and can you get from a play like that? I mean, your special teams come up with a massive play and is able to get you that lead, a 6-point lead right now. How much confidence do you see this team having?
Oh, so much confidence. Like, I mean, looking down the sidelines when they got that, the team was excited. Not one player was, not jumping up and down. And that goes along with the one play earlier when they were able to, they was able to fumble and they were to pick it back up. And it just, that sort of confidence can go a long way. And honestly, the Moorpark Raiders are looking great so far tonight. They're showing determination. They're excited. A lot. Really good to see after coming off 2 losses. Really good to see.
It is good to see them getting already 2 touchdowns up on the board. Again, no touchdowns in the past 2 games, just a safety and then a field goal kick in the past 2 games. So it's a good thing that we're actually able to get some points up on the board. It's going to be a squib distance kick. Williams able to recover it at the 25, brought it up to the 35.
Number 46, Trenton Bradley, that defensive end, able to take down that receiver.
The Comets are going to have great field position, though. They're going to be marked at their own 35-yard line. Seems like they're never having bad field position, just as Long Beach had last weekend. We got about 13 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half. 2nd quarter of action, 13-7. The score still stands. Moorpark Raiders ahead by 6. Romero coming out to try to control his offense. We have the 4 wide receiver set. Usual suspects in there for those wide receivers. You got 3 wide receivers on the near sideline. A handoff, a reverse is going to be a pass play. Pass it deep down the field. It is going to be caught. It's caught at the 30. Oh, my. My sweet cherry pie right there. Number 8, Nate Johnson, usual wide receiver, made a deep pass play all the way down the field. Number 23, Rashad Harper, was able to catch that one.
Just like we were talking about earlier with those passes, with those wide receivers, it's really important to be guarding them and to be watching them to just not let them get those incredible, but catches.
That's going to set up a first down and 10 at the 29-yard line. The Raiders' 29-yard line for the Comets. A pass to the near sideline, incomplete. After Johnson threw a deep pass, he was almost on the other end of the deep pass. Braxton Rogers, number 21, defensive back, able to have some nice coverage right there to stop him from making that catch. Johnson, it looked like it was just a little too high for him. That would have been an easy touchdown play. I would have thought so after Romero was able to sling it his way.
Yeah. Good job, though, for Braxton Rogers.
Fake handoff, play action play. Once again, passes thrown his way, but no good. That was Johnson, the intended wide receiver. Braxton Rogers once again was there on the coverage.
Third down and 10.
It's going to be a third down and 10. It's going to be third down and 10 at the 29-yard line once again after the big pass play. They are going to be stopped. And 2 straight plays where there's no conversion, no yards gained. So great job by Moorpark's defense to be able to step it up a little bit.
Braxton Rogers there twice with the.
Moorpark sends basically all the Raiders in there. Catch is made, though, by Harper. Harper is tackled out of bounds for about a 6-yard gain. It's going to set up a fourth down. It's actually going to be a fourth down and 5 at the 24-yard line. They're going to be going for it on the fourth down. About 12.5 minutes left in this first half, second quarter of action. Romero still out there. 4 wide receiver set, 2 in the slot. Near sideline is Johnson and Williams. Romero looking far sideline. Post route, no good. Pass is incomplete over the head of Nilsson. That was a great stop right there by the Raiders, still maintaining their 6-point lead with the turnover on downs.
That was important for them because to keep that lead is definitely going to give them that momentum to just keep playing hard, to keep with that determination. I know we've seen in the last couple of games that maybe they've lost heart at different times, and so it's good to see them ahead this game, good to see them keeping that motivation and keeping that strong heart.
Landon Altore was the defensive back on the play as well with the first down and 10 at the 24-yard line. It's going to be a handout to Bata. Edgin Bata just pulling all the Comets with him past the 35 for a first down.
Edgin Bata.
Number 6,
Incredible play by him. Big guy, able to, I believe he was carrying 5 or 6 defensive men for the Comets tonight. That was just incredible strength.
It's going to be a first down and 10 once again after that first down run by Bata. Don't be surprised if he gets the ball once again. Interesting to see what that call will be. It will most likely be an encroachment penalty. Number 77, Baron Holtz, the offensive lineman, was right there. It looks like he's trying to plead his case so they don't call a false start penalty against him, but it will be an encroachment penalty against the defense. So great job by him. Great job by number 77, Baron Holtz, to be able to maintain his balance and not react to the defense that's coming straight at him.
That's the 3rd encroachment we've seen in this game so far. Wonder if the defensive end for the Comets is just getting a little antsy.
Bata gets the handoff once again off the left tackle. About a 1-yard gain is going to set up a second down and 4.
Baron Holtz there. Great job clearing the way for him. Number 77, Baron Holtz.
It's going to be a second down and 4. Excuse me, a second down and 5 right there. It's going to be at the 41-yard line. Darling is in shotgun. Handoff to Battle once again, coming off the right tackle on the near sideline. Brought down for a 1-yard gain.
Great speed there shown by Edwin Bata. 6'2", 220 pounds. So it's a big guy pushing through that defensive line, and it's definitely a good asset for the Raiders tonight and just for this whole team and this whole season.
Jake Ambrose, number 39, was there on the tackle alongside Devontae Woods, number 17, both in the secondary for the Raiders. Excuse me, for the Comets. They are running a nickel defense as well, as you can see the 5 defensive backs out there. Going back to pass. Darling, pass completed to the slot receiver, Vinny Corso out of Westlake High School.
You know, there
to the 50.
There we go. You know, those those are the passes. I mean, we've been successful with our passes so far. They're going well. I think that they need to really just utilize those and really encourage Vinny Corso to pass, because he has great, wide receivers. Vinny Corso, for example, Lorenzo Buradi.
There's going to set up a 1st down and 10 at the 50. 4 wide receivers set, 2 in the slot, overriding the near sideline with 3 wide receivers. Once again, Mark Martin, man in motion, coming in at the fullback position. Edgin Bata, he is brought down immediately. They knew exactly where the Raiders were going to go to. Number 50, Trey Semifau is able to make the tackle. Semifua, there with the tackle. He was able to bring him down for a loss of 4. Excuse me, that's a loss of 3. It's going to be a 2nd down and 13. Ball at their own 47-yard line. Looks like Comets are going to send some pressure. Darling, pass down the middle. Cameron Prentice-Brown once again with a big pass play. A big 1st down for your Moorpark Raiders.
I mean, that just proves again. Look at Darling's arm. Look at his aim. He hit number 81 so well. Cameron Prentice-Brown and with that, he got tremendous amount of yards and put them in perfect position to get this touchdown right here.
They are now going to be a 1st down and 10 at the 23-yard line, right outside of the red zone for the Moorpark Raiders. Same formation that they've been using. They have 2 guys in at the fullback position, basically. Handoff to Bata once again, but he's brought down for a 2-yard loss. That was number 43 on the tackle, Braden Smith, the 6'2", 220-pound freshman linebacker.
Loss of 2, 2nd down, 12.
Bata has the speed, but I think something that the offense can really work on is sort of clearing the path for him to travel down the line, down the sidelines, and be able to use his speed and his strength to get those extra yards.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 12, ball at the 25-yard line. Darling in the shotgun position, handoff to Ray Thomas. Ray Thomas is going on the far sideline, but he is brought down. They knew exactly where he was going to go. That was number 39, Jake Ambrose. You got 8 minutes left in this first quarter of action. 13-7, the score still stands. Moorpark Raiders ahead of the Comets, the Palomar Comets, by 6.
It's a great run there by Raymond Thomas.
It's going to be a 3rd down and 15. Darling in the shotgun position. Still got a 4 wide receiver set. 2 in the slot, overriding the near sideline with 3 wide receivers. Dropping back to pass on a 3rd down. Darling trying to find a man, has nowhere to go. Rolls out to the near sideline, and the pass is almost intercepted. Vinny Corso was the only Raider in the vicinity.
Great job to Tanner Darling, though, because even in that rush, even in that stress, he was really able to look up and see Vinny Corso looking for that reception. So still, good work by Darling.
Yeah, still good work by Darling, but that pass, you cannot make that pass because it is in basically triple coverage. There were 3 defensive backs all around Corso. Of course, when he's rolling out to the near sideline, that limits him to just throwing on the near sideline. If you throw it cross field, that's almost a dead giveaway. That's going to be an interception. 4th down and 15. They're going for it, the Moorpark Raiders, that is. Darling dropping back to pass, has some pressure, stepping up in the pocket. He has 3 Comets around him, and he is brought down for the sack. A big play right there by Palomar.
Darling trying so hard there, and he was looking to rush there, but just got a little delayed in his thinking and ended up getting sacked there, or getting brought down there.
He is going to be brought down, and interesting because Palomar, they went on a 4th down, and Moorpark stopped them to be able to get the ball. Then Moorpark had a 4th down, and Palomar just stopped them to be able to get them the ball. So it seems like after Moorpark does something, Palomar just comes back and does the same thing, or Palomar does something, Moorpark just comes back and does the same thing. It's almost like a copycat game we're seeing tonight.
Honestly, though, great showdown tonight. Both, I feel like, evenly matched teams.
Nielsen was the man in motion. He gets the pass thrown to him. Big stop by Rogers.
Yeah, Braxton Rogers there. 5 foot, 755 pounds, freshman, able to knock him down before he could even think about where to go.
That is going to set up a 2nd down. Great job by Nielsen, though, to be able to make sure he catches that ball and still at least is able to stay on his feet. At least, well, able to keep it in his hands as well, because Braxton Rogers, he just lit him up. There was no way that Nilsson was able to get out of there. On a second down, he has some pressure. That was actually Cameron Townsend, number 51, that led that charge for the Raiders. It's going to be incomplete pass, setting up a 3rd down and 6.
You know, comparing Matt Romero, the quarterback for the Comets, and Tanner Darling, the quarterback for the Raiders. Tanner Darling, I just feel like, is overall able to work in those stressful situations really well. He's able to run with the ball and work with the ball.
This is going to set up a 3rd down and 6 with about 6:40 left in the first half, second quarter of action. Romero still the quarterback in. Aguero is in the backfield. He is the running back, number 3. Dropping back to pass. Romero looking far sideline. Nilsson is there for the catch, number 13, once again, past the 50. Excuse me, that was actually number 17 that was there for the catch. That was actually Devontae Woods. Wait.
Ball spot at the Raider 48-yard line.
Excuse me, I actually had it right the last time. That was Nilsson. It almost looked like that was a 7 for 1 second. Devontae Woods is usually used on that defensive side. About 6:20 left. Getting the handoff. Breaking forward, just breaking tackle after tackle down to the 40. That's Aguero on the 1st down and 10.
One thing Isaiah Aguero, the running back for the Palomar Comets, has shown this game is his speed. His speed is unmatched in this game. It's incredible, the quickness of him and his agility.
Yes, it is incredible by his agility. Romero drawing back to pass on a 2nd down and 2. Pass is completed once again. Nilsson, his favorite wide receiver on this drive. Drew Mathis able to bring him down along with some other Raiders.
Number 40, Daniel Henderson, was also in there, able to bring him down.
That is going to set up another 1st down. It seems like the Comets are just marching down the field right now on these Raiders.
1st down for the Comets.
It's going to be a 1st down and 10, ball at the 25-yard line, right outside of the red zone. Looks like there's going to be a timeout called, and yes, there will be a timeout on the field for the Moorpark Raiders.
Moorpark's final timeout for this half.
And while we have a little bit of a timeout break, we're going to thank a few more of our sponsors. So we're going to thank a few of our sponsors. Of course, we cannot do it without them. It's going to be Latin Auto Group, family owned and operated for over 45 years. Always close to home. Latin Auto Group. The Hat, serving world famous pastrami, burgers, dogs, chili for 67 years. The Hat. In and Out. Freshness you can taste. In and Out. Harley's Simi Bowl presents College Cosmic Night every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to midnight. $8 with a college ID and $12 without a college ID. Harley's Simi Bowl. Powerade. Fuel to power through. Powerade. 9 Design. Print and interactive media. 9 Design. And Corner Bakery. Proud to support all scholar athletes at Moorpark College. Corner Bakery. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. About 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first half, second quarter of action. Moorpark still ahead, 13-7. Ryan Ketchum, play-by-play commentator alongside Wyatt James, still in the booth with you. Romero, handoff to Aguero. That kind of rhymes, Romero to Aguero.
Romero to Aguero, hey, just like their name rhymes, they got the chemistry tonight, clearly.
He was unable to get any yards on the play, though. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, going to set up a 2nd down and 10.
Henderson. Second down and 10 for the Comets.
Nilsson coming to the near sideline, and Johnson switching that position to the far sideline. Williams in the slot on the far sideline as a wide receiver, and Rashad Harper on the near sideline. Spread out wide. There is going to be a false start penalty. It looks like it's going to be against Rashad Harper, number 23. Excuse me, it's actually going to be number 75, one of the big boys down low, Preston Johnson, one of the offensive linemen.
That Moorpark defense, when they knew exactly what was going on there.
Going to be a 2nd down and 15 after the 10-yard penalty. Man in motion is Harper. Romero dropping back to pass. Has a man coming right at him. Passes deep, far sideline. It was caught, but he is pushed out of bounds.
officials indicated it was out of bounds.
The officials are saying that he did not get his feet in bounds.
That was 26 Matthew Drake with the block there. Looks like the ref told something in his ear.
Third down and 15.
That was a nice pass play. I mean, Nate Johnson was right there. He had his defensive back beat. The cornerback, he didn't even try to make a play on the ball, it looked like. If I was that cornerback, maybe try to get a little bit better position and try to go in front of him, but still a great thing for the Raiders to make sure that they don't get that touchdown, but there is a pass completed, brought down at the 1 yard line. The ball is loose, but that was Nate Johnson on the reception. Interesting to see right there. It will be a completed pass. It looks like there was no fumble down on the ground because that would have definitely been recovered by the Raiders in the end zone. So it will be a first down and goal at the 1 yard line. Romero still in the shotgun formation. Got a receiver in motion. That's number 15, Zach Morrell. Could be a handoff. Aguero, the running back, able to scoop in right there for the touchdown.
There's Aguero again with that speed and that strength, able to push through and work out something good for the Comets here.
Now, one thing that's a disadvantage for the Raiders is they missed that extra point PAT attempt. It was blocked on the last touchdown that they got earlier on in the second quarter off of that nice special teams play. So with a 6-point lead, now shrinking down to tied, the Comets could actually take the lead right here with this PAT attempt, and it is actually up. It's straight through the uprights, and it's good.
Your score, Comets 14, Raiders 13.
Right there, we have 4 minutes, about 4:20 left in the first half, second quarter of action. The score still stands 13-14 now after the Comets touchdown. I mean, with that missed extra point PAT attempt, how do you think that could affect the game right now, Wyatt?
I feel like even just that 1 point, first off, can be discouraging to the Raiders, but second off, could potentially, alter the whole ending of this game, depending on if it's a 1 point game or not. They're gonna have to work hard to get that extra point.
They can definitely alter this game, but attention Raider fans, real quickly, come down to Custom Pie for a special Raider happy hour following the football game tonight versus Palomar Comets. It's going to be after the game until close. The specials on some appetizers, beer and wine, cheese and margarita pizza. Right over here, right next to Moorpark College. It's the best wood-baked pizzas in Ventura County, only at Custom Pie. A deep kickoff, Vinny Corso able to receive it at his own 1 yard line, brought it down to the 16.
Number 87 on the Palomar Comets with that, bringing down, that's Avery Harris. Wide receiver, freshman, 6 foot nothing, 205 pounds, out of Florida.
So it's going to be a first down and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Not great field position for the Raiders coming out in this drive. Score is still 14-13. Palomar in the lead. Tanner Darling set up in the shotgun formation. Ray Thomas is in the backfield. Got 4 wide receivers. Got 2 men in motion. Interesting. Try to get both of them on the line of scrimmage. Darling. Looks like that wasn't supposed to be play action, but they still went for it. A deep pass play down the field. It looks like it was caught. It looks like it actually was intercepted. Wow. Number 17 coming up with that big play for the Comets, Devontae Woods.
Honestly, there were 4 guys over there I could see wide receiver. I look like Vinny Corso, and then, number 17, Devontae Woods with that catch. A lot of chaos in that small area, but looks like they'll be able to take that interception and use it for their good.
Yeah, it's going to give them a first down and 10 at their own 46-yard line. And interesting because, well, the Moorpark Raiders, they will actually be getting the ball to start the half since they deferred off of winning the toss and they kicked the ball off. But interesting to see them try to go for a big shot down the field as Aguero gets the handoff down to the 49. 49 on the opposite side is going to be in Raider territory.
Looks like down on the field there was a bit of a dog pile, but probably gain about 5 yards there.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 5. About 3:40 left in the first half, second quarter of action. Romero in the shotgun position once again. You got 3 wide receivers. 2 on the near sideline, man in motion. Dropping back to pass. Romero looking deep, near sideline. No good. That pass was intended for the lead wide receiver, number 8, Nate Johnson.
Great job by number 26, Matthew Drake, able to stay on him, and even though the pass was not accurate, he was still right on his tail, able to make any block necessary.
One thing that I like to see is Hayden Galvin maybe get there a little quicker, because Galvin was about 5 yards back on that play, so he couldn't make any play on the ball even if he wanted to. So I like to see the safeties try to get up on there a little closer. Romero looking far sideline. He has his man beat, but it will be incomplete. The ball was caught, but he had his feet on the sideline. He could not get those 2 toes down in the green. He actually stepped on the wide instead, so it will be incomplete pass. That was number 23, who was the intended wide receiver, Rashad Harper, on the play. Is going to bring up a 4th down, a big 4th down and 5. It looks like they're in punting formation, though, but don't be surprised if you see some trickery. There will not be any trickery. The punt goes down, bounces at the 10-yard line, takes a Raider bounce. Palomar is able to keep it in bounds without it hitting the end zone, so looks like it will be a touchback, though. They are going to call a touchback. It did touch the end zone. It didn't look like it touched the end zone, though. I mean, what happens is if one of the Comets was already had a foot in the end zone and touched the ball, even if the ball didn't touch the end zone, it will be a touchback. So that might have been the call, but Raiders a little lucky there. That would have been placed at their own 4.
I think that's what did happen. The Comet that hit it back, his foot looked like it might have been in the end zone.
We got about 3 minutes left in the first half, second quarter of action. 13-14 score still stands. Palomar in the lead. Raiders coming out for another drive on the offensive end.
We have a PSK foul. We have holding on the receiving team. This is with a touchback. The enforcement's foul will be the 20-yard line. First down.
There is going to be a holding penalty on the kick return by the Moorpark Raiders. It will be enforced right now on the first down. So since the ball was at the 20-yard line, it's going to be backed up. So still better field position for the Raiders than being at their own 4-yard line. They're going to start at the 10. Big formation right now with Edge and Bata in. Bata trying to gain some extra yards. Has a lineman trying to push him forward down to the 14.
Great job there by Bata, number 5. Or excuse me, Mark Martin, number 5.
Excuse me, that actually was, yes, it was Mark Martin, number 5 in there. That 5 and 6 kind of look a little similar, especially with the size of both of those running backs. Of course, Edge and Bata is not a running back, at least listed, but he's used more at the running back position. Martin does get the handoff, and he just keeps pushing forward. He brings all the Comets with him down to the 29. First down.
Mark Martin, like we've talked about, again, just using that strength, that's 230 pounds to push through the defensive line. Big asset right now, as we can see. I mean, they gained about 13, 14 yards on that rush.
It's going to be a first down and 10 at the 29-yard line. 2:20 left in the first half. Martin gets the handoff once again, tries to cut back to the middle, has nowhere to go, brought back down at the line of scrimmage.
One-yard gain.
Vincent Corso coming to the game, number 20 for the Moorpark Raiders. Number 19, Berardi. Lorenzo Berardi is going to be the wide receiver on the far sideline. Christian Graves, Cameron Prentice-Brown, and Vincent Corso on the near sideline with Mark Martin in the backfield. Tanner Darling in the shotgun, dropping back to pass, feels the pressure, but pass is completed to Vinny Corso. Vinny Corso stops on a dime, able to get a few extra yards on the play.
Wow, Vinny Corso, the second he caught that ball, he had it secure. He turned around and started running. It was great awareness by Vinny Corso there.
That's going to bring up a big first down. It's going to be a first down and 10, already in Comet territory right now at the 48. Clock is ticking, though. There's 1:20 left in the first half. Darling pass incomplete to Corso. It looks like it was still a forward pass, so it will not be a fumble on the play. It will not be a live ball.
1:21 remaining in the second quarter.
One good thing is that incomplete pass will actually stop the clock for the Raiders, so they have a little more time to operate. So it's going to be a second down and 10, ball at the 48-yard line. Palomar's 48-yard line for the Moorpark Raiders. Same 4 wide receiver set with 2 in the slot, overriding the far sideline with 3 wide receivers. Darling is in the shotgun formation. You got a nickel package for the defense. Pass is completed, and he is nailed right away. Cameron Prentice-Brown could not hang on to it, but my, oh my, Tanner Darling was hit hard on that play.
That's a tough break. Cameron there knows too. Cameron Prentice-Brown, he knows what he did. He knows he's sponsored by his Butterfingers, and looks like he's bummed out right now.
Anthony Zuniga, number 97, the defensive lineman, had that pressure on Darling. It would have put him down on the ground right after he threw the ball. Third down and 10, Vinny Corso, number 20, the man in motion. Has some pressure once again. Is going to be a running back screen. Pass is completed. Puts his head down. Number 25, Ray Thomas, able to get to the 38-yard, the 42-yard line, that is. 38-yard line is where the first down marker is at.
4th and 4 for the Raiders.
That'll set up a 4th down and 4 for the Raiders.
Gomez on to punt for the Raiders.
They're going to be punting the ball off. Don't be too surprised if you see some trickery in this play, because with 1:11 left, you get the ball coming out of halftime. So it's not going to be too diminishing if you just kind of launch it down the field, try to get a first down on the play. Here comes the punt. It almost is blocked. Wow. I don't know how he was able to get that one between defender's hands. It looked like it might have been partially blocked, though, because it sailed out of bounds, but still a great job to get that kickoff and make sure that it wasn't down around the 42-yard line. It could have been brought back for a touchdown.
Looked like it was Avery Harris, number 87 on the Comets, who got a little bit of a nip of that punt if they did.
It's going to be a first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line for the Comets, coming out for this most likely last drive of the first half. This is obvious passing situation with 1 minute left. Romero rolling out near sideline, has a man wide open. He caught the ball at the 30, at the 20. Hayden Galvin's trying to catch him, but he will not catch him. Harper there for the touchdown.
That was number 23, William Butcher, made that catch.
That was Rashad Harper there for the catch, number 23.
Excuse me.
No, it's all good. Hayden Galvin, number 17, was there, and he actually turned on the turbos. He was about 15 yards behind Harper and ended up being 5 yards behind him at the end zone. Unable to catch up to them, though. So that will give the Comets a 7-point lead. Here comes the extra point PAT attempt. The kick is up. It looks like it's good, and yes, it is. Straight through the uprights. The Comets have the lead by 8 points against the Raiders. Now that just looked like a mental lapse. There was nobody covering Harper.
Looked like, I mean, and again, like, I don't know if the Moorpark Raiders are necessarily always aware of the full passing potential that the Palomar Comets have really been showing all season long, and just throughout this game a couple times.
That is now going to set up a kickoff. Moorpark Raiders, number 25, Ray Thomas. number 20, Vinny Corso, back to receive the kickoff for the Moorpark Raiders.
In-N-Out Burger, freshest you can taste at In-N-Out Burger.
About 50 seconds left in the first half.
IBEW local
After that big pass play by the Comets, I mean, that was electrifying. That's definitely going to put them into halftime with some nice momentum. But don't be too surprised if you see Vinny Corso taking this back to the house. He did so in the first game of the season. It was called back for a penalty, though, but he has that potential. Vinny Corso does receive the kickoff at the 1 yard line. Breaks the tackle, has some blockers in front of him, but there's just too many Comets to try to waddle through, so he is going to be brought down at the 22.
Number 20, Vincent Corso on the kickoff return.
Something to watch out for right now. Dax Blinn, number 13, was brought into the huddle. His coaches brought him right around where Tanner Darling was. Of course, Dax Blinn, number 13, is the backup quarterback. We saw him play a little bit in the Long Beach City College game, but Darling will still be the quarterback in the game for the Raiders nonetheless. Going to be a 1st down and 10, ball at their own 22. Darling, handoff. Going to be Mark Martin, able to get back to the line of scrimmage. It looked like they had a little bit of chemistry issues because Darling had to do a full spin move just to hand it off to Martin. It was a little interesting how they didn't have that coerciveness to be able to just hand it off to him. He actually had to do a full 270, a whole 270-degree spin to be able to get it to him. So that will bring us to a timeout. Excuse me, that actually will bring us to the end of the second quarter. At one second, I thought they were actually going to call a timeout because they were already running off the field, but that will end this first half. The first half going into halftime. The Moorpark Raiders have 13 points. And the Palomar Comets have 21. Make sure that you stay tuned with us for our halftime show, which will be presented by Jersey Mike's in just a bit. We will actually have an interview with the man himself, the owner, Rich Vitolo, who will be with us at the halftime show. I will actually be interviewing him in just a bit, so make sure that you stay tuned with us here on your coverage of Moorpark Raider football.
For custom pies for a special Raider happy
I'll
hour.
be back. I gotta pee.
Really bad. What's worse, popped or break? It popped out and it popped back. Honestly, it could be broken. I don't even know. It's just in very. Are you gonna be out for the whole entire year? Yeah, Landon. I hope not. Okay. You're gonna fill in for her, right? Yeah. The rest of the year. I hope not. Way to put it on you. Oh, I want to go over there though. So I was out for it. You're not gonna have to start. You got to go into Jess. What are you doing over here, dude? Way to let it go, dude. Slam it up. Wait, Landon. Can you do me the biggest favor? What? Can you throw this away for me? Please. Thank you. You're very kind. You can be arrested. Here, I'll throw it to you. Oh, catch it. Oh, come on. Usually my dad is here to buy me things. A hot wing. I was going to say, I knew I smelled wings. But then she was going to say hot dog, so I said hot wings. I didn't even make it more after I made hot thing. Go with it. Usually my dad's here to buy me things because he's like, since you're not playing and Justin's not playing, I'm not going. And I was like, Mom, you got to bring cash with you. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. My mom didn't leave already. I'm like, dude, cash? And I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm like, but I'm so sit over there? No point. Does anybody want to go sit over there? No, we don't. Oh, there's some after. Really? On the floor? It's so good.
sub extra point challenge. Tonight's contestants are Caleb Griffith and Grant Long. Each contestant has 2 chances to make 1 extra point. The winner will play jersey white sub kickoff. This exciting on-field contest will take place at the next three-home game of the season. All fans are interested in participating need to sign up for the Jersey Mike Sub corporate booth at the 5-minute mark. That's
No, the towels are here. Where'd she put them?
Is it that big bag right there?
It's a little blue bag right here, right here.
Guys, ready? We gotta throw a t-shirt. Let's go. Ready? Give me some. Give me one. 12 things. Jake, I'm gonna hit you. Wait for him to get now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the halftime show presented by Jersey Mike's. Since 1956, a sub above, Jersey Mike's Subs. We're here with Rich Vitola, who's actually the owner of one of our local Jersey Mike's. Now, since being owner of one of the local Jersey Mike's Subs, how does it feel to actually be with a local community college? I mean, Moorpark College, one of the best community colleges in the nation. How does it feel to be partnered with a program like that?
It's really great because that's what Jersey Mike's Subs was built on, giving back to the community and working with schools and things like that in the community. We get our support and business from the community, and it's great to give back and support back,
It's definitely great, and it's great to see you here at a Moorpark College football game. How does it feel, these Saturday night lights being out here? It's a pretty intense game so far in the first half. How does it feel to be out here?
Yeah, it's great. I'm a huge football fan since I was 3 years old. So anytime I can get around football, it's great. I love football, all levels. It's great.
Oh yeah, it's definitely great, especially with community college, because it gives the guys an extra chance to be able to try to make that career happen. And with this being Moorpark College, I don't know if you know, but Moorpark College, we try to recruit everybody local. We try to get everybody from the local high schools. So what does it mean to actually support community college? That you're not just supporting some guys from Texas or Florida, you're supporting everybody from the community itself.
That's what's special about it. We feed a lot of the recruitment classes that you guys do. You guys recruit from Royal High School and Simi Valley and Simi High, and we do a lot of the lunches for them. So it's really cool. It's all full circle. They come to us, and in turn we try to support right back. It's great.
Now, as you said, you feed all the local high schools, and the players are always coming in. What type of relationship do you have with the players as being an owner, trying to support your own store, but also supporting this team?
We do a lot of things for the athletic programs in the area. Like Royal High School is really close. They're in our backyard. We do all kinds of discounts and stuff for them anytime we get a chance. They all come in with their jerseys on Fridays and Thursdays for the JV, and it's just great to see them in the store because it's all local and everybody knows each other. And it's like, I'm not just an owner. I work behind the line. I make sandwiches just like my team does. So when they all come in and they see each other, it's a great feeling to see all these people see each other in our store. And it just feels great, man. It's awesome.
It would definitely be great to see that. And now we were actually speaking off camera. I thought you had a very interesting story on how you got into this and was actually be able to become an owner. Or would you be willing to at least tell your story a little bit to us?
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey, and I started out as a customer as a kid, and it was something I was so passionate about, and I ate it 3-4 times a week. And I got involved in the company with an owner. His name was Lloyd, and he had 3 stores, and I was his general manager. And they did a TV show about 4 years back on the Food Network called Giving You the Business, and it gave 4 managers across the country an opportunity to compete on camera, hidden camera show, and the winner was able to get his own franchise.
Wow.
So it changed my life, and the CEO of our company, Peter Cancro, is a great guy. He gave all 4 contestants their own store. So
Wow,
Great
all for
guy. He
Contessa.
gives back too, just as much as we do.
Now, how was it being on Food Network? I mean, that must have been pretty exciting to actually be on there.
It was the most stressful day of my life, but it was the most rewarding day of my life. It changed my life. It changed the life for my family, and I have something to leave behind for my kid, and something I get to grow every single day locally in the community for my family, with my family. It's great. Yeah.
Well, it is great, and it's great to have you out here. Of course, you're representing a local team and from a local store, so thank you very much. This is Rich Vitolo, the owner of Jersey Mike's Sub. Once again, thank you for tuning in to our halftime show from Jersey Mike's Subs, a sub above since 1956. Jersey Mike's Subs. Thank you very much.
Go Raiders.
Oh, cool.
That was awesome.
Thank
dude.
you.
I
That was
nervous.
great.
That was cool.
Yeah, awesome.
job.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for giving me some good answers.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it. 7 off. All right.
Summer? What? I have two of them, but they have like the same. Because this one, like highlights whatever lip color you already have, and then this one is like an actual. It's really pretty. It looks different on everybody. Here. I want a t-shirt, but I'm not a size small yet. Put in the box. I literally got water everywhere. You're literally so cute. If you look on my Instagram, I have I'm subscribed to mermaid. That are mermaid themed. I just started following one of those mermaid things where they make the tails that you swim. Oh yeah, I have one at home. It's like super cheapy though. Yeah, I want like the ones that are. I want this one that's like a couple $100, so yeah. Yeah. She like hand makes them and they're never the same. They're beautiful. Yeah, no, I met her at a rave. I want the silicone one. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She's called. I could send you the thing. I think it's called. I can't remember. I think it's just mermaid tails. But like instead of the word tail, like it's T-A-L-E-S. Like cause it's her tail. You know? Yeah, no, there's a bunch of them. There's this one in particular. She's so cute. She's like a mom and she has her kid and she makes it for her kid and they match. That's cute. And hers looks really like she can even blend it in with your skin. Like you send her the color of your skin and she'll blend it in so it looks like you actually like, you know. I got bronchitis. Because like I always get it every year from my asthma. So I'm pretty sure. Oh no, that's the thing.
Get your play in the game. Part of Moorpark College Athletics. You can. This is an exciting time to associate with the Raiders. We understand that strong partnerships are valuable. We want to build quality.
I follow this lady that does commercials. I can't remember the other thing. I think it's the Mermaid Project. There's a bunch of them. I've been like mermaid tails. Oh my god, why are you not? Oh, it's not shit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your Moorpark Raider coverage. We're back in the booth once again. Ryan Ketchum, play-by-play commentator alongside Wyatt James, color commentator analyst, coming back from the halftime show presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Since 1956, a sub above. Jersey Mike Subs. We're right about to start the second half right now with the Moorpark Raiders losing by 8. It's a 13-21 lead for the Palomar Comets. Here comes the kickoff. Ray Thomas, number 25, back to receive the kick with Vincent Corso. Vinny Corso actually just received the kick at the end zone. Going to have a 100-yard return. He got back to the 25-yard line, though.
Great speed there by Vinny Corso. Number 25, Raymond Thomas, also clearing the way for him.
Now the Raiders are going to be starting off with pretty good field position. Going to be starting off the 25.
Let's get up. Come on.
The NFL touchback line. Tanner Darling most likely will come back out here for the Raiders. Not too much production out of him ever since that first touchdown of the game where he was able to nail Cameron Prentice Brown in the middle of the field for that big touchdown pass. Hasn't had too much production ever since, so hopefully he'll be able to come out here and show what he's got. He's actually going to be lining up under the center right now. It's going to be a fake handoff, play action play. Edgin Bata is out on the near sideline. Ryan Matlock is the intended wide receiver, and he caught it. He caught the ball down at the 23-yard line. Wow, my oh my sweet cherry pie. Ryan Matlock saw the ball in the air and made sure he got his mitts around it.
Wow, great play by Ryan Matlock. That was number 14, Danny Wood, who was on him. Just couldn't quite get to block him for the Comet, but that was a great move great play for the Moorpark Raiders tonight.
And one thing, Tanner Darling, that pass wasn't too accurate. I mean, it had some distance, but it did not have the distance to let Ryan Matlock continue to run down the field. It wasn't like a over-the-shoulder pass where he could catch it, just catch in his hands. But actually, there's going to be a pass to Edgin Bata as I am battering around right now. Edgin Bata caught the ball for a touchdown for the Raiders.
You know, this is great for the Moorpark Raiders right now. They're starting this half off with already 6 points under their belt, and we're not even a minute into the half yet. So this is some great momentum for the Moorpark Raiders tonight.
And it's funny, I just had the announcers, the announcer's curse, I guess, where you say something about a team and they do exactly the opposite. I just said Tanner Darling did not have too much production ever since that first drive of the game, and now he just shows me wrong. He proves me wrong with 2 straight completions, 75 yards down the field for after 2 pass completions, got down 75 yards for the touchdown. So great job by him. The PAT attempt was up and it was good. So a 20-21 score line.
Honestly, Ryan, if it works out for the good of the Raiders, I can prove us wrong any day.
Yes, and hopefully Tanner Darling continues to do that, because that pass play to Ryan Matlock, you saw it did not have the distance. It didn't look like it was going to be a good pass. It did not, as I was saying, it was not that over-the-shoulder pass that you want to see on a route like that, a go route. They call it a streak route, whatever you want to call it, just running vertically down the sideline. But Ryan Matlock used his awareness. He had great awareness on the play. He saw where the defensive back was. Defensive back didn't even look towards the football, and Ryan Matlock was able to contort his body and make sure that he was able to get his hands around the football. So great job right there by Ryan Matlock. That was the highlight of the drive right there. A big booming kick collected at the 6-yard line, has a blocker in front of him, able to get down past the 25 to the 28-yard line right there for the Comets, where they will be taking control. That was number 22 on the kick return, Brian Neves, the running back.
Brian Neves was the kickoff Comet player.
Now that's really electric for the Raiders to be able to come out like that. I mean, they weren't able to have too much success at the end ever since that good special teams play to get the touchdown, they didn't have anything going for them really. And then coming out like this is a strong way to come out.
Yeah, and I really hope that this momentum can carry out throughout this half here.
Play action pass to Williams. Williams breaks 2 tackles down to the 50, the 40. He has a man in front of him to block down to the 25. A big gain right there by number 1, Marquise Williams.
Looks like the two people that got him down was Drew Mathis and Hayden Galvin, number 10 and number 17, respectively.
Great to see number 10, Drew Mathis, run that far down the field. A defensive end. He is fairly elusive, but not as quick as Hayden Galvin, so very surprising to see him.
It's good to see him over there, yeah.
Very surprising to see him run that fast down the field, but great to see that if you're Moorpark Raiders. Not great to see that big pass play, though, which sets up a 1st down and 10 with the handoff to Aguero. He is down at about the 23-yard line. The ball is loose. Raiders are calling. It looks like they're celebrating that it's their football. The refs have yet to make their call. They're going to break up the pile real quickly.
And, you know, if this is true, then this is just another boost of momentum that will hopefully carry the Raiders throughout this game. Let's see what happens, though.
They are going to call it Palomar football. It looked like all the Raiders thought that it was in their hands, but unfortunately for Moorpark, it will still be Palomar football with a 2nd down and 9 off of the 1-yard gain by Aguero. Romero in the shotgun formation. Looking far sideline, pass completed to Williams. Williams putting a hesitation move on the defender. There will be a penalty. So there will be a penalty flag. That was Braxton Rogers on the coverage, number 21 for the Raiders. Looks like that probably will be against the defense, either a horse collar tackle or a face mask penalty. Those are the only 2 that I could see actually being realistic penalties in this case. About 12 minutes, 50 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of action. There will not be a penalty flag. It didn't look really like a penalty. It just looked like Braxton Rogers was trying to make a tackle and holding onto the jersey. So no penalty. It will set up a 3rd down and 5, however. It's going to be a 3rd down and 5 at the 20-yard line for the Comets. Romero handoff to, play action. I thought that was already a handoff. Williams was the intended wide receiver. Rogers with a nice play to break up that pass.
Yeah, that's Braxton Rogers again, really being consistent throughout this game as he's able to make those blocks and keep the offense from gaining any yards.
That's going to set up a 4th down and 5. Don't be too surprised if you see the field goal unit coming out. This will be at least where they're placing it right now, where the holder is. It's going to be, it's actually going to be a 38-yard field goal attempt since they're at the 28-yard line. The kick is up. It has the distance. It looks like it has the accuracy, and yes, it does. It's straight through the uprights, and it's good. Tack another 3 points on there for the Comets, 24-20. Palomar leads in this game against the Raiders.
Palomar 24, Moorpark 20.
Now coming back, of course, that big pass play, that was not ideal for the Raiders.
Yeah.
With that big pass play straight down the middle. What did you see out of the Raiders defense, though, to be able to force them to a 4th down, and instead of getting 7 points on the drive, they were only able to get 3 points with that Moorpark defense stepping up?
Well, someone that I actually want to highlight right now who I think has been consistent in holding back that offense is Braxton Rogers, like we saw in that one defensive block there. Like, as much as the defense can help out the offense and holding back the Palomar offense, the better it is for the offense and for Darling just to work out everything.
Here comes the kickoff off of the completed field goal attempt from the Comets. Back to receive once again, Vincent Corso and Ray Thomas. Vinny Corso is going to receive it at his own 6-yard line. Has a trio of blockers in front of him. He has some space to go, but he is tackled down by his shoelaces at the 32.
Number 20, Corso on the kickoff return.
And as I said, that was basically a shoelace tackle, because if Vinny Corso did not go down on that part of the field. He had some daylight in front of him. Of course, there were some Comets right around him, but with that speed, it looked like Corso could have brought it to the house.
Yeah, and well, there was honestly some great blocks and a great path carved by the offense on Moorpark Raiders' side. So great job for them.
Now the Raiders take over after their first drive of the second half ended with a touchdown. They will now be taken over once again at the 33-yard line, their own 33-yard line. Looks like there's a little bit of confusion on the field right now. But the score is 24-20 once again, Palomar in the lead. The players are still on the field, so there's no timeout called. But it looks like they're trying to check the clock a little bit. Refs are a little suspect with the clock right now. And yes, it is going to be a clock issue, so they're just going to add 10 more seconds, which will be about 11:50 left in the third quarter. So there was no penalty, no timeout. It didn't look like there was any flags on the ground. Didn't look like there were anything going on right now because all the players just stayed on the field, so none of them trying to go for a timeout. So it will be a first down and 10 at the 33-yard line. Darling with the handoff straight to the middle with Martin. Martin able to break a tackle down to the 38.
That was a great job there by number 8, Nico Lima, the tight end coming in with the rush. Able to really push through. Nico Lima is 6'3", 245 pounds.
Yeah, that was number 8 on the defense that made that tackle. Nate Johnson was there. No, a handoff. Going to be brought down for a few yard loss. That was actually Edgin Bata, number 6 on the carry.
Loss of 2, credit to number 97, Anthony Zuniga on the stop.
Zuniga, number 97, once again, that big boy, that defensive lineman down in the trenches, able to make a nice tackle right there with 10:50 left in the third quarter. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 7 for the Moorpark Raiders. Tanner Darling has 2 in the backfield. Martin Bata has a 3 wide receiver set, 1 in the slot. That's on that far sideline. Fake handoff, play action, pass is completed right there, down at the 50. That was Berardi with the catch.
Yeah, great catch by Lorenzo Berardi, and great thing to see out of Tanner Darling tonight is how he's really implementing all of his passes and how he's using those to gain yards and not just rushing it all the time, but to really strategically play out how he's going to pass the ball or how we're going to move the ball up the field.
It's going to be a 1st down and 10 at the 50-yard line. Darling with the handoff right there. Looks like to Ray Thomas, but the ball is down to the ground. It looked like it was lost on contact. It looked like he already had his hands on the ground, already had an elbow down when the ball came out.
That was 36, Chandler Wackaholtz.
They still have not made a signal just yet.
Yeah.
But interesting to see what that will be called. There is an injured Raider down on the field right now. Always sad to see the Raiders down on the field. We do have a great kinesiology department here at Moorpark College with Sharice Sherman. She's actually our lead help right there. She basically just our athletic trainer. That's what I was trying to say, athletic trainer out there, and she is helping our main man down on the field. Looks like that was Ray Thomas, number 25, so hopefully he'll be back. But as we have this little injury timeout, we're going to thank a few of our sponsors right now. Of course, we cannot do it without our sponsors, so we're going to thank a few of them right now. U.S. Army. Go on business trips with a company like no other. U.S. Army. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. Wells Fargo. UCLA Health. It begins with you. UCLA Health, and UCLA Health is actually our sponsor for the game. UCLA Health is proud to sponsor tonight's game with neighborhood offices in Simi Valley, Porter Ranch, Thousand Oaks, and Westlake Village. The very best in healthcare is now closer to you. And Moorpark Center for Dentistry. We care about our community as much as you do. Moorpark Center for Dentistry. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. Ray Thomas was able to walk off of the field, so that is fortunate for the Moorpark Raiders. He is always a big asset in the return game, and he is also a big asset at the running back position as Aguero gets the football. Now, during that break that we just had when we were thanking our sponsors, there is a fumble recovery by the Comets. That was a forced fumble. Ray Thomas was not down by contact, so it will be Comet football, as we just saw on that first down and 10, 4-yard run by Aguero. And Ray Thomas, once again, number 25, is now running little sprints on the sideline, so he should be fine. There is a nice play, though, by Hayden Galvin. Hayden Galvin able to intercept the football at the 35-yard line, giving the Raiders possession.
Great catch by Hayden Galvin. He was able to look up, see the pass that was coming from quarterback Matt Romero, and just was able to make a fantastic interception there. Great work there.
Yes, that was great work right there by Hayden Galvin. He saw the quarterback's eyes, and I saw him. He just sprinted straight towards the football and was able to make a nice break on it. It got caught in his mitts. I mean, he must have had to stick him on there because that ball was not coming off anytime soon.
No Butterfinger sponsors for him tonight.
It is going to bring up a first down and 10, though, for the Moorpark Raiders on the 40-yard line. Down by 4 points, 20-24 against the Palomar Comets. Got a 4 wide receiver set, a handoff to Mark Martin, and he hurdles a defender down to the 48-yard line.
You know, that's not something we've seen much this game, but Mark Martin, the very first game at home, he was making some incredible jump moves, some incredible maneuvers, and that just proves his agility and just his strength. And wow, is he an asset to this team?
Yes, he is a big asset to this team. And I mean, I don't see hurdles like that at this level. You don't even see it too frequently at the Division I NCAA college level. You only really see it at the professional level, but all these guys are trying to do it, and Mark Martin just did it beautifully. Tanner Darling goes on to quarterback keeper on a second down. Looks like he has a first down, and yes, he does. He is at the 49-yard line on the Comets' 49-yard line, right past the 50.
Again, good work by Tanner Darling, just how he's not afraid one bit to just run the ball and get the yards, regardless of the pain or the sacrifice it is to him.
And it's always reassuring when you see your quarterback give up his body, when he doesn't go down, he doesn't just slide down. It's nice to see a quarterback do that. Luckily enough, he is not injured, because you never want to see your quarterback get injured, especially a dual threat that isn't willing to slide. So great job by him by still maintaining to be healthy. A little miscommunication on the play action handoff, fake handoff. Pass is completed to Vinny Corso at the 39. It is going to be a first down.
Something that's been consistent with Tanner Darling is his processing and how he's able to throw the ball with so much pressure on him. It's just astounding to me.
Yes, it is astounding to see him. As you said, even with pressure, he's still able to stay focused. Even if he needs to escape the pocket, he's able to do so. So great job by Darling tonight, especially tonight, because putting up these many points is just great to see. Mark Martin's the man in motion on a first down and 10 at the 39. Anthony McLean gets the handoff, and he is brought down just past the line of scrimmage, maybe got an inch or two on the play.
Anthony McLean on the carry.
7:50 left in the third quarter of action. Cameron Prentice Brown, number 81, in for Mark Martin. There is going to be no gain on the play, though, so it'll still be a second down and 10. It's going to be a second down and 10. Tanner Darling is in the shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers on the near sideline, a wide receiver screen pass play. Ryan Matlock has a blocker in front of him, and my, oh my, Cameron Prentice Brown led that block perfectly.
Yeah, just good shout out to Cameron Prentice Brown right now, how he's able to clear the way for him to come through.
And Ryan Matlock, that was a good play. It seemed like he almost hesitated after the catch, though. He should have just started going, but Great job by Cameron Prentice-Brown. He led that with the blocking charge. Unfortunately, there were just too many Comets to be able to get him in the end zone, but great job by Cameron Prentice-Brown to at least show that effort and push his defender back. That will set up a 3rd down and 3 with 6:50 left, just under 7 minutes left in this third quarter. 24-20. Palomar still with the lead. He has some pressure on him as Tanner Darling throws the football. The pass is completed. Christian Gray's number 11, the intended wide receiver.
Looks like just a little bit too much pressure there for Tanner Darling.
And Darling, it looked like he was shook up on that play. He was kind of holding his ribs a little bit. Thankfully enough, he is up on his feet and walking right back to greet his Raiders. That shows a lot of toughness, a lot of grit out of your quarterback. A 4th down and 3 coming up for the Moorpark Raiders. They are going for it. Darling still trying to get the call from the coach, trying to call an audible. Darling has nowhere to go, uses his feet, and he's past the 30, past the 25, and pushed out of bounds right around the 20. Excuse me, it will be pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line for the 1st down.
Again, great play by Tanner Darling, able to rush that ball, get that 1st down for them.
And Darling, I like to see that because he saw that the pressure was coming at him. He saw he didn't have anybody open, and he knew where to go. He saw where the defensive linemen were and said, I'm not going to go to the right side. I'm not going far sideline. There's too many people over there. I'm going to go to the near sideline and get a 1st down for my team. Fake handoff, pass completed to Vinny Corso. Vinny Corso on the wide receiver screen has a blocker in front of him, down just shy of the 1st down marker.
Corso forced out of bounds.
Good running there by Vinny Corso, like we've seen as usual. Nothing or always something special, but good running there. Vinny Corso, wide receiver, 5'9", 160 pounds.
And don't let that size fool you because he is very strong out there. You see him on the return game. You see him on as a wide receiver. He is just a great player and a great asset for the Raiders to use. A 2nd down and 2. 2nd down and short. Edge and Bata gets the handoff. Bata swing down inside the 5.
Brought down just short of the goal.
He's actually going to be placed at the 3-yard line, but Bata, my oh my, this guy is unstoppable tonight. He was unstoppable in the 1st game of the season, was injured in that last 2 games, and now comes out here and doesn't skip a beat. Don't be too surprised if Bata gets the ball once again. He cuts back to the right side of the formation to the far sideline, and he's in. Bata swing for the touchdown for the Raiders.
Good strength there by Bata, as usual, proving his strength. This is good momentum right now towards the end of the 3rd quarter for the Raiders, just having only a few more minutes left of this quarter, and this could be a really big deciding factor for them.
26-24 before the extra point PAT attempt is up. Moorpark Raiders now back in the lead. They were down at halftime 13-21, but the PAT attempt is up and it's no good. I saw that. It was far left. So another missed PAT attempt. I mean, already 2 missed PAT attempts tonight. Not a good thing to see out of the Raiders. A good thing to see, though, is the score with them up by 2 points.
Really good match tonight. It seems that the Raiders have really been able to see the offensive side of the Palomar Comets and how they're just working and how they're passing, and it seems to be that they're catching on to that. And let's hope that they're figuring out the rhythm, that they're able to get it by this semester, or by the end of this quarter.
There's about 5 minutes, 30 seconds left, nearing the end of the 3rd quarter after this Moorpark Raider touchdown gives them a 2-point lead in this game. After that touchdown, the Raiders will be kicking the football off once again. Palomar is going to be having the ball, trying to get some more points together on this drive. But a big highlight, I mean, Edgen Bata is definitely coming back from his injury strong. And as I said, he is not skipping a beat. He is just continuing to do what he did on the 1st game when he was healthy. A deep, wobbly kick recovered at the 10. Brings it up on the near sideline, has a spin move, brought down at the 33 for the Comets.
Saw 19 in there, Lorenzo Burradi, and also 51, Cameron Townsend again. strong in there as a strong, really good asset for the defense, Townsend.
Brian Neves, number 22, was there on the kickoff return once again, giving them some pretty nice field position at the 34, their own 34-yard line for the Comets.
34-yard line.
They're coming up with a first down and 10 now. Romero is back in the shotgun formation. Still 4 wide receivers set. 2 in the slot, overriding the far side with 3 wide receivers. Passes it deep to the far sideline, and the pass is complete. He actually grabs onto the football this time, down at the 15. A big pass play right there to number 23, Rashad Harper.
That was Hayden Galvin, number 17, safety for the Moorpark Raiders, just a few yards shy of him, not able to make that block.
But that was a great play. They're going to be marked at the 16-yard line. That was an electric throw. When we were talking about Tanner Darling to Ryan Matlock, that big pass play to start off the third quarter, it was behind him. That, how Romero threw the football, is how you're supposed to throw that route. A great pass play, as we also just see Williams able to get down about the 10. But I cannot say that enough. He put it right on the money, and it seemed like the wide receiver wasn't even expecting it. He kind of catch it with his fingertips, it looked like, before it touched the turf. It's going to be a second down and 4 at the 10. Getting the handoff. Aguero, there is a penalty flag, but it will be a touchdown, Palomar. Don't be too surprised if it gets brought back with a holding penalty against the offense, but for right now, it is a touchdown, Palomar.
No, I didn't break my arm.
Aguero able to skip through that seam, but it will be a holding as I suspected. A 10-yard penalty brings a second down and 4 to a second down and 14. Definitely not something you want to see if you're a Palomar fan right now. You definitely don't want to see your team doing that nonsense.
Yeah. Unfortunate break for the Palomar Comets, but a fortunate break for us Moorpark Raiders.
That's going to be a second down and 14. 4:40 left in the third quarter. Fake handoff, play action pass completed to the far sideline. Makes a move on his defender, and they're able to get a first down right now. That was number 8, Nate Johnson.
Johnson on the pass reception.
On the reception. But a great job from him. It looked like he was going to be brought down shy of that first down, about 5 yards shy, but he was able to make a nice move, able to put that stiff arm to use and bring it down to about the 5-yard line for the Comets. Deep inside the red zone. Knocking on the door of the end zone right now for the Comets. A handoff to Aguero. Aguero trying to find a seam through the line, but cannot find one. Brought down for a 1-yard gain at the 4. With about 4 minutes, 10 seconds left in this third quarter, it's going to bring up a second down and goal at the 4-yard line. Romero's trying to get the play call from the coach. He's still in the shotgun formation. Man in motion is Johnson. Handoff to Aguero off the left tackle. He has a hole, but he cannot get in there. He is brought down right around the 1-yard line.
Something that the Comets have going for them that is just especially special is this quarterback and running back relationship between Matt Romero and Isaiah Aguero. I know we've already mentioned that tonight, but it's just outstanding how they're able to work it out together.
Aguero has been playing very well out here tonight, and of course, if you're playing that well, you're going to get the ball handed off to you the majority of the time. So now they're actually going to place it at the 2-yard line for a third down and goal. Man in motion is Olsen. Fake run, pass play is completed. Johnson for the touchdown for the Comets. Bringing them back ahead of the Raiders, giving them 30 points right now.
You know, this sets up a really, in some aspects, complicated fourth quarter because I feel like it's gonna be so close and so tight that every point's gonna matter. Everything, every move, every down is gonna matter here.
Here comes the extra point. PAT attempt with just above 3 minutes left in the third quarter. PAT is up, and it looks like it is good. There is a penalty flag down on the field, though. Only one ref kind of recognized it because all the refs did not kind of wave it off. So they're trying to bring the kicker back on the field. The near sideline ref was actually able to throw that penalty flag out. For the meantime, it's still 30-26. Still trying to see if that PAT attempt is complete. And yes, it will be a penalty against Moorpark, so that will be enforced on the kickoff. So the Comets will now go up with a 31-26 point lead. They have a 5-point lead over the Moorpark Raiders right now in the third quarter with just about 3 minutes left. Now, as we saw on that last pass play, that touchdown pass play to Johnson, we saw the play action. They have been using that a lot this game. The play action, of course, it has to be set up by a strong running game. Aguero, he has just been, very consistent. It's not just that he's tearing up, but he's been consistent on his runs. So when you have a consistent running back like that, Moorpark's going to stack the box. They're going to have more than 8 guys in the box. They're only going to have about 3 defensive backs outside, especially at the goal line. So you're going to see those play action pass plays are going to be wide open for the Comets coming up. So don't be too surprised if you see that in the duration of the game, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Here comes the big kickoff. Vinny Corso back to receive the kick in his own end zone about 1 yard deep. A fake reverse play, and the Comets knew it was fake. He is brought down at the 18-yard line. They tried that once again to Tawan Funches. With a score of 31-26, Moorpark down by 5. They will take control at their own 20-yard line with Tanner Darling coming back in. Don't be too surprised if you see a lot of edge and Bata as well in this drive, as we saw last drive.
A lot of Bata this game.
Yes, and he's actually going to hand it off to Bata. Once again, about a 2-yard gain pushed out of bounds. There is a penalty flag. There should be a late hit. That should be a late hit penalty, a little bit of unnecessary roughness on the defense with that late hit. He was already out of bounds when he got tackled to the ground. That's Edgin Bata, of course, number 6 from the Raiders. That was the victim of that play. Excuse me, the victim of that penalty. And yes, it will be a 15-yard penalty. Wow, my oh my, this is going to march them forward for a big-time gain. Turn in a 2-yard gain to a 17-yard gain.
A lot of great breaks for the Moorpark Raiders, but we'll take them any day.
38-yard line.
We will definitely take them, and now they're going to have a first down and 10 at the 38-yard line. Still their own 38-yard line, still on their side of the field. With an 80-yard field to work with, starting at their own 20. Able to escape the defense. Big pass play down to Ryan Matlock, and he drops it. Wow, he was at his own. Actually, he was at the 20-yard line. He would have been inside the red zone with that catch, but it hit his chest and bounced out.
You know, Matlock's feeling that right now. Matlock is bummed. You know, we've seen this about 3 times this game. Just simple catches gone astray, and it's just I know that it's taken the Moorpark Raiders a real hit, and I know they're bummed by it for sure.
Interesting to see that by Ryan Matlock because if you remember, he made that tremendous catch on the near sideline where he had to contort his body just to even be in the position to catch the ball. But when he was wide open, he couldn't catch that. Vinny Corso gets the pass completed to him. He's tiptoeing down the sideline. It looks like he might have stepped out a little bit early, though. And yes, he did. They're marking him at the 47-yard line, just 1 yard shy of the first down.
9-yard gain, 3rd down and 1 for Raiders.
2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. 31-26. Palomar still in the lead. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 for the Raiders. Bata and Martin in the backfield. We got a 3 wide receiver set, 1 in the slot. Overriding the near sideline with 2 wide receivers. Darling is in the shotgun formation. Handoff to Bata. Bata breaks off the tackle, able to get the first down, just dove forward to the 49.
That's an important first down right there because they're really going to need to get on the other side of their field to get the momentum to finish off this, to get the touchdown.
Christian Graves, number 11, walking off the field. Ryan Matlock, number 4. Cameron Prentice-Brown, number 81. Your wide receivers on the near sideline. Number 19, Lorenzo Berardi is on the far sideline. Mark Martin and Jabata, number 5 and 6 respectively, are in the game as well. But Mark Martin is actually lining up as a wide receiver in the slot on the near sideline. As you can see, he's behind Cameron Prentice-Brown and Ryan Matlock. He's actually the man in motion right now as well. There is going to be a false start penalty against the offense. Don't be too surprised if that's called.
Flag in the play.
The Raiders weren't too happy about that one. And yes, going to march them all the way back 5 yards. It's still going to be a first down, but a first down and 15 instead of first down and 10. Of course, a lot less manageable right now. 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the third quarter of action. 31-26. Comets still in the lead. Darling hands it off to Bata. Bata trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like he does so.
Yeah, it looks like just Bata wasn't able to find a hole there necessarily to get through that.
Interesting. It looked like that was a quarterback option run. On a quarterback option run, of course, Tanner Darling could keep it himself, but he saw that the defensive end was basically breathing right on his grill, so he had to hand it off to Bata. And fortunately enough, they were able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Going to set up a second down and 15, at least for the time being. There is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on Moorpark College. It's actually going to be against number 77 out there, Barron Holtz. He's the offensive lineman, one of the big boys down in the trenches. But as you saw on that false start penalty, he was actually jawing at some of the defensive linemen, so wasn't too surprised that you saw that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty called against him. It is going to set up a big second down, actually a second down and 30. We don't see that too many times. We got 4 wide receivers, 3 on the near sideline. Fake handoff pass, incomplete to Ryan Matlock. It was thrown right at his shoes.
You know, the Raiders right now, they're just, I wonder if they're getting antsy. They're 5 points down. They need that touchdown. They need that 6 points. They need all the points they can get, and I wonder if they're just getting a little antsy and just trying to work harder than they should, and when they should just relax, know that they have the skill to do it, to finish out the task.
Third down and 30. Vinny Corso was the man in motion going on the far sideline. It's going to be a running back screen play, a little extra contact after the play, but there's too much pressure coming at Tanner Darling, and he had to just throw it away. So this will now be a 4th down and 30. Obvious punting situation, of course. So now going back to punt from their own 29-yard line is where the ball will be placed. A little unfortunate to see that out of the Raiders after those 2 penalties, those 2 costly penalties for being the unsportsmanlike conduct and then also the false start penalty. It's a high, booming punt, doesn't go too deep. It still takes a Moorpark bounce. It's going to be out of bounds at the 32-yard line, that is. It almost looked like it was going to happen just like it did in the first half, where the Moorpark Raiders were able to jump down on the football after it hit a Comet, but luckily enough for Palomar, they were able to get out of the way.
That was a great break in that second quarter, I believe, for the Moorpark Raiders.
Yes, that was a second quarter touchdown, as you were mentioning.
I think it's important right now for this defense to really not allow another touchdown or just shut it down right away, because right now the offense needs to get back out there. They really need to score. We need to get back on the board. We need to be back on top.
First down and 10, Aguero, the ball is loose off the handoff, and it will be Moorpark Raider football.
That's really important for the Moorpark Raiders. And now that is the break we needed that I was just talking about.
The Raiders will now take possession at the 36-yard line, already into Comet territory, giving the ball away after 2 penalties, setting up a 4th and 30, but now coming right back, playing some strong defense and poking the ball loose out of Aguero's hands. Haven't seen that too much tonight, but great job right there by the Raiders, able to fall on it and not try to pick it up. You see too many players trying to pick up the football and run with it, but great job for just trying to dive on it and make sure that they get possession.
Yeah, just hold on to it, make sure that it's theirs.
It's going to be a 1st down and 10 at the 36 for the Raiders, a play-action pass. Darling looking near sideline. Cameron Prentice Brown and Christian Graves is right there, and Christian Graves comes up with a touchdown for the Moorpark Raiders.
Wow, I don't know how he made that catch. That was incredible. He was on his back, I think.
That was an incredible catch. He was already leaning backwards.
Yeah.
It looked like it would have been a catchable pass for Cameron Prentice Brown, but Christian Graves comes out of nowhere, uses that vertical leap. I mean, it looked like he had a 50-inch vertical leap on that play, was able to rise up and use those big mitts that he has to get that touchdown.
You know, this whole turnover from when the fumble happened from when we gained control until now, this was an important, almost essential move for the Moorpark Raiders tonight.
And something interesting to look at on the field right now, you see Tanner Darling in the offense setting up for a 2-point conversion. They are up by 1 point right now, 32-31, trying to get it to a 3-point lead. Bringing in all of their wide receivers. There's a little bit of confusion right now. And yes, with that confusion, it will lead to a timeout for the Moorpark Raiders. But as we do have a break in action, once again, we are going to thank a few of our sponsors. Of course, we cannot do it without them, so thank you very much to all of our sponsors. The lender you can call home, PennyMac. Let us tackle all your mortgage needs, PennyMac. DCH Auto Group, delivering customer happiness. DCH Auto Group. Nationwide is on your side. Nationwide. Jersey Mike Subs, since 1956, a sub above. Jersey Mike Subs, once again, that's also our halftime show sponsor. And Los Robles Hospital and Medical Center, well within reach. Los Robles Hospital and Medical Center. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. We cannot do it without you. And now coming back on the field, as you can see, the Moorpark Raiders. We got all of our guys out there on the field. Number 42, Canepa. Mark Martin, Vincent Corso, Cameron Prentice Brown, Curtis Couliard, all in the game with Tanner Darling as well, leading as the quarterback position. Handoff, Mark Martin straight in the middle. He dives in for the 2-point conversion. That was a key 2-point conversion right there.
That makes up for those 2 points lost. That's the difference between this game right there is what I think. That is the difference.
That is going to give the Moorpark Raiders a 3-point lead in this tightly contested matchup between the Palomar Comets. They are leading this game 34-31 off of the strong play right there from Mark Martin, just diving in there for the 2-point conversion. Now after that, Wyatt getting that momentum, getting that interception by Hayden Galvin, and then coming down and scoring.
Yeah.
What do you think that could do to this offense? I mean, also just the whole entire team just getting pumped up. You have home field advantage. Your cheerleaders are cheering for you. You got a fairly decent crowd section cheering for you as well. And you coming out here and scoring and getting a 2-point conversion, what do you think that could do to a team?
Honestly, like look what's happened. Like we are 3 points up right now. We're leaning towards momentum right now. In fact, not leaning towards, we are momentum. And it's just so essential right now that we keep this momentum going through this whole next quarter, the fourth final quarter, and that we make.
There's actually going to be a little bit of confusion right now. They're going to put the clock back to 1 more second on the clock to 36.3. That's what the confusion was. Of course, usually sometimes with the clock it gets a little bit confusing. I've actually done the clock operating before, so I do feel their pain, but that will bring up now a kickoff leading 34-31 for the Moorpark Raiders. As we said, about 35 seconds left in the third quarter. The kick is deep. Harper's able to control it. He is brought down at the 30. Wow. He shook him out of his shoes with that tackle.
That was good.
Number 45, Mason Rusnick. Wow, Mason Rusnick. He was able to come up with that big-time tackle. I mean, I haven't seen a player get hit that hard in quite a while.
Yeah.
You saw him. He had all the forward momentum, but right when he hit him, I mean, that was basically a brick wall that he ran into. And once again, that was Rashad Harper there for the return. Romero drawing back to pass on a first down and 10. Aguero gets the ball once again, and it is hit hard. Wow. Braxton Rogers, number 21, coming up with 2 back-to-back hits.
And something we need to take note of is while this Moorpark Raider momentum is building, what is also declining is the momentum of the Comets. I feel like they're just getting kind of discouraged right now, a little worried as we have 5 seconds left on this clock.
As you can see, the Comets are just going to be walking off of the field. Moorpark Raiders have all the momentum in the world, winning this game 34-31. We'll be back with you in just a bit from a few moments from our sponsor, a few messages from our sponsors with a 34-31 lead with the Moorpark Raiders. We'll be back with fourth quarter action in just a bit. Hello, everybody, and welcome back with your fourth quarter action here with the Moorpark Raiders versus the Palomar Comets. Ryan Ketchum, play-by-play commentator, alongside Wyatt James, color commentator with Aguero, carrying the ball for the Comets, and he is just whipping around these Raiders. Able to gain a good amount of yards, able to get down to the 49, the 44-yard line, their own 44-yard line for a first down and 10. Is now going to set up a first down and 10 at the 44 for the Comets. Wide receiver on the near sideline is Johnson. Romero growing back to pass. Pass is completed to, that's actually number 13 on the pass completion, able to run past the 45-yard line, the Raiders' 45-yard line for the first down.
13 on the rate.
Yes, that was Devin Nilsson, able to get the reception. Devin Nilsson and Rashad Harper on the far sideline. Marquise Williams and Nate Johnson are your wide receivers on the near sideline on first down and 10. Pass is completed. Williams able to come down with that one, down at the 26.
Wow. Williams held on to that ball very, very well. Had two defensive on him, and he just was able to hold on to that ball.
Now, one thing that we were saying, all that momentum was towards the Raiders, but unfortunately for the Raiders, there was a stoppage in time before they got back on the field. So that stoppage in time could have done everything for the Comets to be able to get back into this game as the pass is completed. Once again, Nilsson is the wide receiver on the play. But as I was saying, the momentum, it seems like it's kind of slipping out of the Raiders' hands right now, as we just saw.
Yeah.
4 straight pass completions for the Comets in this drive alone, just coming out of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that could be really discouraging right now, but let's hope something happens right now that's able to turn this around.
Harper, Williams, and Nilsson, wide receivers on the near sideline. Johnson is on the far sideline, play action pass. Pass is incomplete. Hayden Galvin was the closest guy there, and that's a safety for the Moorpark Raiders. It looked like Rashad Harper, the intended wide receiver, just kind of tripped up on the play and was unable to get there.
Hayden Galvin was only about 5 yards shy of catching up to that ball.
We already saw him. He had one interception in the
Yeah.
game already, so that could have been number 2 for him. That is going to set up a 2nd down and 10, though. Hand out to Aguero. Aguero has nowhere to go, and he is brought down almost immediately.
It's like Aguero got a little confused. Not a little confused, but just was looking for a hole. Didn't have any options, so had to take it up the middle.
Number 47, Ryan Schmerbeck was there for the
Schmerbeck.
tackle.
What a great name.
That is a great name. If you have a last name of Schmerbeck, you definitely have to be shown on TV at least some way. I would love to be a public address announcer for him and just announce that name.
Or a president. Can you imagine having President Schmerbeck is in office?
That would be great. Now on a 3rd down and 9. Pass is completed. It looks like, yes, it is completed. It's straight down the middle. Williams was there on the reception. Wow, pass completion after pass completion on this drive. They were just marching down the field. And now they're about 2 yards shy of the touchdown. They're right next to the end zone. They're basically knocking on the door of the end zone right now.
Looks like number 17, Hayden Galvin, the safety, was really close to.
It's going to be a hand to Aguero. Aguero breaks the tackle by Richard Watkins. It looks like he is just shy of the end zone. It's going to be placed at the 1 yard line. It's going to set up a 2nd down and goal at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for the Raiders to hold this defense right now.
Aguero, hand off once again, but he's brought down for a loss of yards. Great job right there from the Raiders defense. Number 9, Richard Goldhammer, coming up with a nice play.
Good run by number 3 on the on the Palomar Comets. Isaiah Aguero, good run there.
It's going to be a 3rd down and goal, a loss of 2 yards on the run. Romero rolling out to the far sideline, has nowhere to go, cuts back middle, and it's incomplete. Great job right there by the Raiders secondary, holding them. It's going to be a 4th down and 3 now for the Comets. A 4th down and goal at the 3 yard line, excuse me. Romero and the offense is still on the field right now for the Comets. It seems like they're going to be going for it. The Raiders trying to pump up the sideline. The cheerleaders are getting into it. The fan section are getting into it. And they are going to cause Palomar to call a timeout.
This is a really essential play for the Moorpark Raiders. If we can get this turned over, if we can hold them right now at 4th and goal, then yeah,
that would be
unstoppable.
Great. Now, once again, we're going to thank a few of our sponsors. Our sponsors, we cannot do it without them, so we want to thank a few of them right now. Cricket, something to smile about. Cricket Wireless. Stonefire Grill, where community is served. Stonefire Grill. IBEW Local 47, Southern California's light powered for 125 years. IBEW Local 47. Latin Auto Group, family owned and operated for over 45 years, always close to home. Latin Auto Group. And The Hat, serving world famous pastrami, burgers, dogs, chili for 67 years. The Hat. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. Now coming up a big 4th down and 3.
I could go for the hat right now. I'm telling you right now, Ryan. Oh.
Those world famous pastrami sandwiches
So
are
good.
great.
Oh, this is important play right now for the Moorpark Raiders.
Moorpark, excuse me, actually, Palomar Comets on a 4th down and goal at the 3 yard line. We got a man in motion as Nielsen rolling out to the far sideline, has some pressure, throws it back. Olsen is there, but it's not caught. It's an incomplete pass, and the Raiders now take possession, up 3 with a big stop on the goal line.
Wow. We were able to hold them from 1st and goal, basically only 2 or 3 yards shy of the goal, and we were able to hold them 4 downs as we just consistently. This is a great sign for the defense. It's such a consistently and solid defense during this game.
Now coming out, the Moorpark Raiders with possession after the turnover on downs by the great play from the defense. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to be running. Don't be too surprised if you see a lot of run game right now. We're so close at the line, the end zone. Ejinbada gets the handoff, brought down right around the line of scrimmage. It looks like he'll have a gain of 1 at the 4-yard line.
Bad has been a really consistent tight end this game.
Yeah, he is listed as tight end, but basically what he's used as is the running back position.
Acts as a running back, essentially.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 9, ball at their own 4-yard line for the Raiders. Almost a neutral zone infraction or encroachment penalty on the defense, but the flag is not thrown. Tanner Darling using the hard snap count right now. Pass completed. Christian Graves evades from the tackle. Is brought down right around the 20-yard line. Number 11, Christian Graves with a nice reception and yards after catch.
Important first down to get that ball out of their territory to start making their way or marching their way down the field.
It's going to set up a 1st down and 10. 1st down and 10 at their own 20. Darling getting the play from the coach. Berardi and Prentice Brown, wide receivers on the far sideline. Christian Graves on the near sideline. Darling a fumble on the bad snap. He is down at the 15, a 5-yard loss right on that play. Unfortunate right there for the Raiders.
That is a tough loss right now, tough break.
Vincent Corso, number 20, back in the game, replacing Ejinbada, number 6 for the Raiders. 2nd down and 15, 10 minutes left in the game. 34-31 Raiders winning in this matchup against the Palomar Comets. Looks like they got man coverage. Almost dropping back. It's going to be a wide receiver screen pass play to Berardi. Berardi has some daylight in front of him and brought down at the 39. A little interesting, they're going to stop him a few yards shy actually at the 37, but great job right there for the completion.
That was some good strength there by Berardi, as you said. Able to show some speed and get past the defensive line.
Setting up 1st down and 10 at the 37-yard line, their own 37-yard line, 9:20 left in the game. Clock ticking down, and the Raiders aren't too mad about the clock ticking down, especially with the 3-point lead as the handoff is to Ejinbada, able to get to the 38, about a 1-yard gain.
Bada, 6'2", 220 pounds. Really able just to show that strength throughout this game as he pushed through to get a couple of yards there. Or, excuse me, only 1 yard.
It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9 for the Moorpark Raiders. As you can see, they're enjoying this time ticking off of the clock right now. Three wide receiver sets. One in the slot on the near sideline. We got 2 wide receivers, 2 men in the backfield. Play action pass. Darling rolling out near sideline, has nowhere to go. Pass is incomplete and intended for Ryan Matlock. And Tanner Darling is sat down on his back right there after getting hit.
Yeah.
There is going to be an injury.
Player on the field. Officials timeout.
Never good to see an injury down on the field. Hopefully he'll be okay. It is offensive lineman here for the Moorpark Raiders. But once again, while we have a little bit of break in action, we want to thank a few more of our sponsors real quickly. We cannot do it without our sponsors, so thank you very much, and we're going to thank a few of them right now. In-N-Out, freshness you can taste. In-N-Out. Harley's Simi Bowl presents College Cosmic Night every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to midnight. $8 with a college ID and $12 without a college ID. Harley's Simi Bowl. Powerade, fuel to power through. Powerade. 9 Design, print and interactive media. 9 Design. And Corner Bakery, proud to support all scholar athletes at Moorpark College. Corner Bakery. Seems like the player down on the field, he is still down there right around the 34-yard line. He needs to get a little bit of help up out of our athletic trainers crew. He's hobbling off of the sideline. As you can see, he has to have his weight on the trainers. His right leg there, as you He's actually able to put his pressure on the right leg, but it looks like that left leg's a little numb right there. Hopefully he'll be able to come back in the game or at least be healthy enough to continue on with this. He is never good to see an injury like that happen.
3rd down and 9.
That's Eddie Riviera, number 68, offensive lineman for the Moorpark Raiders. It will bring up a 3rd down and 9, though, with 8:30 left in the game. 34-31, Raiders still in the lead. Fake handoff, play action pass. Darling looking middle. Pass incomplete. Intended wide receiver Christian Graves. Graves unable to snatch that football out of the air while he was falling down. So will be punting situation for the Raiders.
First punt, though, this quarter, I believe, for the Raiders, so it's a good thing for them.
Stephen Gomez, the punter for Moorpark Raiders, having a little too much action than we like to see out of him in the past few games. A little less action tonight, which is nice to see, but still punting a little more frequently than we would like. As you can see in this game, though, and throughout the season, he has been a great punter for our team. It's going to be a high, booming punt. Fair caught at the 28-yard line by Nilsson. So the Comets will be taken over at their own 28-yard line. Still down by 3 points, trying to put together a strong drive. They were able to get down to about the 1-yard line in one play during that drive. They were right around the goal line for a whole entire set of downs, but they were unable to make anything of it with an incomplete pass play about a foot over the head of their tight end to be able to finish the deal, which went straight to Moorpark College. So they're definitely going to have to step it up, try to get down to that red zone as they did, try to get down to the goal line as they did last drive if they want a chance. Hand out to Aguero. Aguero just carrying all the Raiders with him, down for about a 5-yard gain.
Wow, Aguero's strength is just consistent, has been extremely consistent, like you mentioned earlier. Consistently making good plays, consistently rushing the ball.
It is going to set up a 2nd down and 5. Excuse me, that was about a 5-yard gain on the play. Got a 4 wide receiver set. 2 in the slot, overriding the near sideline with 3 wide receivers. That is for the Comets. Man in motion was Nilsson. Drops back to pass. Romero has nowhere to go, and he is pressured by all the Raiders, and it's too high, just over the hand of Harper.
Number 14, Landon Olatorre was close to an interception there, about 7 yards shy, but
just unable to get his mitts on it. It was basically going to be a fingertip catch if Harper was able to hang on to that one, so that would have been very impressive, of course. But it's not back in the Stickum days, so that one would not be too realistic as a pass is completed to Aguero. Aguero able to get a 1st down on the play past the 40, down to the 42-yard line, that is, their own 42-yard line.
Out of bounds, 42-yard line.
Comets trying to make this a nice drive right here. Marching forward for that 1st down. First down of this drive. Romero drops back to pass. Pass is completed. Once again, Harper. Harper able to make a man miss and down at the 50.
Number 40 there, Daniel Henderson with the tackle.
Able to get an 8-yard gain on the pass play for the Comets.
2nd down and 2.
About 7 minutes left in the game. Still up by 3. That is for the Moorpark Raiders. Comets trying to march down the field. At the 50-yard line, though, only 50 yards to go to the end zone. Fake run, pass completed to Nilsson. Nilsson is brought down by Braxton Rogers, number 21, with the big hit.
Braxton Rogers was savage on that tackle right there. Got him at the knees, scooped him up, flipped him over.
He was trying to show that he could be a wrestler on that play. WWE is going to be calling his name after that tackle. Harper, Williams, and Nilsson, wide receivers on the near sideline. Johnson on the far sideline. Aguero in the backfield. Romero is in the quarterback position. Pass completed once again. Now to Johnson. Johnson dragging defenders past. It looks like past the first down marker, down to the 35.
Johnson on the reception.
And yes, it will be a first down.
Talk about three Moorpark Raiders to finally bring him down. It was Drew Mathis there, number 10, with that last touch on him. This is when I think that the Raiders really need to step up their defensive game. This is when it's crucial. When we're 3 points down, 1 touchdown will bring the Comets up to 37.
A hand to Aguero. Aguero just able to get back to the line of scrimmage on that run.
Aguero on the carry. No gain.
And just as I said, there's going to be no gain on that rush. It will bring up a second down and 10 with 5:30 left in the game. Still down by 3 points, that is for the Comets. Score is 34-31, Moorpark Raiders in the lead here at Moorpark College at Griffin Stadium in beautiful Moorpark, California. Usual formation with the 4 wide receivers. Johnson's the man in motion. Goes to the far sideline. A handoff to Aguero. It's going to be a reverse to Harper. Not too many Raiders on that side of the field on the near sideline, but he is brought down by Hayden Galvin. Great tackle right there by number 17.
Hayden Galvin was on the other side of the field, but had his eyes open, saw what was going on, and was able to rush back to the other side to get the tackle.
It is going to be a first down, though, for the Comets after that big run gain. We have seen that already in this game. They had that reverse play, but that was with Johnson, and Johnson actually threw a dart down the field. First down and 10 at the 25. Right outside of the red zone for the Comets. Aguero, now a wide receiver. Romero passing it deep down the middle, incomplete. He is hit hard, though, right there by Landon Altore, and there is a penalty flag. It's probably going to be helmet-to-helmet contact. A hit on defenseless receiver, it could be. Could also be a targeting penalty. One of those 3. It's never good to see a wide receiver just up in the air and get hit like that. Williams was the intended wide receiver, number 1. He was the one that got hit. Almost made the catch on the play. It was just a little too high over his head. About 4.5 minutes left in the game. Still score 34-31. Coming down to crunch time with the Comets already at the 25-yard line. The refs, after discussing it, they will be making their call. It was unnecessary roughness against number 14, Landon Altore, of the defense for the Moorpark Raiders. So it's going to be half the distance to the goal line. They were at the 25-yard line, so they should be setting up right around the 12 to 13-yard line right now. It's kind of hard because you can't set it at the 12.5-yard line. I mean, you can kind of toss it in there, but it's still going to be placed at the 13 technically, since you have that half yard.
That's a tough break for the Raiders right now. This defense, right now is really going to have to step this up.
First down and 10 at the 13. Looking for Nilsson. Nilsson has a pass complete. He makes a spin move, and he's in for the touchdown. No flags on the field. It's going to be a touchdown. Palomar.
Number 13, Devin.
Wow.
That was a big-time play right there. Just under 4.5 minutes left in the game. Moorpark Raiders now down by 3 after the touchdown for the Comets. Comets now up 37 to 34 in this game.
Tough break right now for the Moorpark Raiders.
Yes, that is a tough break for the Raiders.
Still 4.5 minutes though to make that up. Easily possible.
Here comes the extra point PAT attempt. The kick is up, and it looks like it's straight through the uprights, and yes, it is. It is good. The Comets now have a 4-point lead, so you know what that means. The Raiders are going to have to score a touchdown. They cannot be winning this game with just a field goal kick. If they kick a field goal, I mean, they're going to have to still have over a minute left on the game clock to be able to make something happen off of the onside kick. Presumably, so the Raiders are going to have to try to march down the field on this drive, at least get down around the 30-yard line. It'll be most likely at the 25-yard line because you want to give your kicker a chance to make a field goal kick if you do have to kick a field goal. At the 30-yard line, that would set up a really long field goal kick. That would be about a good 40-plus yard field goal, around a 48-yard field goal attempt. So the Raiders are definitely going to have to march down the field, try to get down to the 25 at least to be able to make something happen, at least get a score up on the board. Vincent Corso, Ray Thomas, two men back to receive the kickoff for the Raiders. They kick it to Thomas this time. Thomas recovers at the 3-yard line, their own 3-yard line. He has some blockers in front of him trying to make some moves. Still going through the middle, down at the 20-yard line is where they're going to spot him at.
Yeah, Vinny Corso's been a great runner for the Moorpark Raiders. We have 80 yards to travel, so take us one step at a time.
Yes, it is going to be an 80-yard field that we have to work with, so Raiders are definitely going to have to come up with something big right now. Trying to go 80 yards and just about 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the game, down by 4 now. So they need a touchdown to win the game. If they kick a field goal, they're going to have to hope that onside kick works or their defense just steps up. Still having 2 timeouts left in the game. There is a penalty flag. Tanner Darling does throw it. It looks like it did make its way back to the line of scrimmage. So it's not going to be intentional grounding. It was before the pass was even made, so it will be encroachment on the defense. That's what the refs call it.
That's important right now. We'll take 5 yards any day.
Yes, it is going to set up a 1st down and 5 now, so replay 1st down, just 5 yards up the field.
Looks like the coaches right now on the Moorpark Raiders getting excited, wanting to pull out a victory for the team.
Christian Graves, number 11. Cameron Prentice-Brown, number 81. Vincent Corso, number 20 on the near sideline. Lorenzo Berardi, number 19 on the far sideline. Darling, play action pass, fake handoff, pass is completed to Vincent Corso. Vinny Corso down to the 50, past the 50, into Comet territory with a big 1st down.
You know, you were just saying they need something big, and that was the thing that traveled them, I'm talking about 30 yards. That was the thing that they needed to really push through this field to get that dent in the field and work through that.
Yeah, that was a 28-yard pass play right there for the Raiders. It's going to set up a 1st down and 10 at the 47-yard line. The Comets' 47-yard line, that is. Going from 80 yards to 47, and basically a quick snap of time as Vincent Corso is able to get the reception down at the 44-yard line where he's pushed out of bounds. Going to be a nice gain, actually the 43-yard line, for Vincent Corso and the Raiders.
Good work getting him out of bounds so we can stop that clock.
And good job by Corso, able to evade the tackle because that could have been a loss of yards. He was right around his own 50-yard line where the defender was already touching him. It's going to set up a 2nd down and 6. 2nd down and 6 at the 43-yard line. Got a 3 wide receiver set. Berardi and Prentice Brown on the far sideline. Graves on the near sideline. Handoff to Edgin Bada. Bada swing. He has a 1st down going in there past the 37 down to the 35-yard line. Great run right there.
Seems like the Moorpark Raiders have really picked up that momentum again, taking it from the Comets. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, and all the momentum is going their way right now. It seems like this is basically the Comets' drive that they had on their last drive because the Comets were just marching down the field and they were able to score a touchdown. So hopefully for the Raiders, they get the same result. 1st down and 10. It's going to be at the 35. Play action pass. Darling looking deep. He has a man open. Can't get it to Prentice Brown. Pass out of bounds, and it will be a 2nd down.
Just a few yards shy of Prentice Brown, or more towards the out of bounds territory.
And it looked like Prentice Brown was pretty wide open. He was able to get in the hole of the defense. He saw that secondary playing that zone coverage, that there was a little bit of hole, and he found it. Too bad that Darling was unable to get it to him with all the pressure coming at him and rolling out to the near sideline with a throw on the run. Those are always hard to complete. The difficulty level on a throw and a run, you'd be surprised how much the difficulty level rises instead of being in the pocket. Just to give you a sense of how hard those throws are, how difficult they are. And Tanner Darling trying to make something out of nothing, just running out of bounds at the 34. Wow, that was a big hit. Cameron Prentice Brown just laid out the defender. Number 86 was trying to he was trying to get that quarterback down. He's trying to get to Tanner Darling. Number 86 is Luke Robinson, but Cameron Prentice Brown just laid him out and said, hey, you will not touch my quarterback. I'm going to bring you down before you even get close to him.
Love that support, Love that. Honestly, I think it's just how Tanner Darling is willing to sacrifice himself. The rest of the team looks at that and says, you know what? You did that. We're going to do this for you. We're going to support you because you're our captain.
A 3rd down and 10. Darling dropping back to pass. Has a man open. Can't see him, though, and he's going to be brought down for a sack. Wow. Turn of the tide right there. He is going to be sacked. The ball will be placed at the 38-yard line. This is out of the reach for the field for the kicker. This is definitely a little too deep to have a kick, to have a field goal kick. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah.
But once we have a little bit of a break in the action right now, we got a message from Custom Pie Pizza right over here by Moorpark College. Attention Raider fans, come down to Custom Pie Pizza for a special Raider happy hour following the football game versus Palomar College tonight. Specials are on the appetizers, beer, wine, cheese, and margarita pizza. Come down, visit Custom Pie today, 6593 Collins Drive. That's the address if you want to plug that into your GPS, 6593 Collins Drive, Moorpark, California. The best wood-baked pizzas in Ventura County. Make sure you go and visit Custom Pie today. There will be a Raider happy hour after every home game this season. Also, something to talk about. Something that's very exciting coming up this Friday night. This Friday night will be the first wrestling match in 8 years for the Moorpark Raiders. The Raiders have been very successful with wrestling, so make sure that you come out and support the Raiders. So make sure you come out and support the Raiders wrestling team as well as you do their football team. Tanner Darling just trying to dance in the backfield. It was completed, but he is out of bounds, and that wouldn't have been a first down even if he was in bounds. Christian Graves makes a hard fall on the ground. I can see him on this near sideline. He is on the track, and of course the athletic trainers are tending to him. He collided with Vincent Corso. Vinny Corso wasn't hurt on the play, fortunate enough, but interesting to see that out there. Christian Graves just hitting the deck hard. So after that incomplete pass, it was a 4th down. So it will be a turnover on down. Still down by 4 points. That is the Moorpark Raiders. Only about 2 minutes left, so they're going to have to come up with something big on the defensive side. With a 1st down and 10, handoff to Aguero. That is definitely not something you want to see by the Raiders. That was a 6-yard gain on the rush.
It's Aguera's agility that's really that's a final timeout for the Raiders.
That was another timeout. The scoreboard does say 2 timeouts left, but the public address announcer announced that it was their last timeout. I wonder if the scoreboard's having a little bit of difficulty right now. But if that is the last timeout of the half, that is going to be very bad news for the Raiders, because still down by 4, only about 2 minutes left in the game, and you're trying to stop this team from getting a first down. They're going to be running the football, so the clock's just going to run out, and they're only going to have less than a minute left to try to make something happen if they're able to stop them. So with them only having no timeouts left, that is going to be very difficult for them to be able to come back.
Put them in a really hard position when they get the ball back.
So now, of course, the score still stands 34-38 in the game. The Moorpark Raiders down by 4 points, trying to make a comeback right here. Obvious rushing situation as Romero is in the shotgun formation with Aguero in the backfield. On a 2nd down and 4, and he is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down, Richard Watkins and Cameron Townsend. Cameron Townsend definitely sent him out of town on that big hit. The clock, as we were mentioning, it's going to continue to count down. Only 1:40 left in the game. Richard Watkins, number 90, one of the star defensive linemen for the Raiders, was also there for the tackle. A 3rd down and 5, a big 3rd down and 5. Don't be too surprised if you see a run. I'd be surprised if they try to pass it on this down, and it is going to be a run. Aguero, spin move, down, past the line of scrimmage, a 1-yard gain. It will be a 4th and 4. Moorpark Raiders coming up with a big stop. No timeouts left and only 1 minute to spare.
4th and 4 for the Comets.
Vinny Corso back to receive the punt. Number 20 for the Moorpark Raiders. There is 15 seconds left on the play clock. And they're just going to let it run out right now. The Moorpark Raiders will only be left with about a good 28 seconds left on the clock to try to make something special happen. They are going to call a timeout, so they won't go for the delay of game penalty. It will be 29 seconds, just under 30 seconds left in the game. 30 seconds left. It's still able to happen, but they're going to have to pull something out of their bag of tricks right now.
A miracle is going to have to happen here. It's possible.
Don't be too surprised if you see Vinny Corso having a big return, because Vinny Corso, he is poised to have a big return. He hasn't had one of those star-studded returns that he had in the last game.
Stonefire Grill, where community is served at Stonefire Grill.
But here it comes, a 4th down and 5. Obvious punting situation.
Hospital and Medical Center.
Vinny Corso, once again, number 20, back to receive the punt for the Moorpark Raiders. Now this is crunch time right now with only 30 seconds left. I want to see what Vinny Corso could do on this return. It's probably going to be a high, short punt. It's actually a deep punt. So Vinny Corso does have the chance to receive it, but they're actually just going to bring it down. That is the Comets at the 22-yard line, where the Moorpark Raiders will take over. 22 seconds left.
Wow, it's possible.
What they're going to have to do, they're going to have some out routes. They're going to have some streak routes going, some of those vertical routes. They're going to have some of those post routes that go outside. And they're just going to have to let it fly. Tanner Darling's just going to have to let the ball sling right now, because they're not going to be able to run the ball right now. They're not going to be having those short passes. It's going to have to be a big pass play. As you see, there is that nickel package for the defense. They have those 5 defensive backs in the game. For the Comets, they're rushing 4. Raiders still got that pressure. Christian Graves with the catch. Seems like he might have been tackled out of bounds, and it looks like he will be tackled out of bounds. So 17.9, so 18 seconds left. Christian Graves was able to get the reception, but actually it will not be a reception. It will be incomplete pass, excuse me. They're calling that an incomplete pass, so it will bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 23, their own 23 for the Raiders. Short pass play completed. Christian Graves gets out of bounds. 17 seconds left. Seems like there should have been more clock taken off, but hey, I'll take only 0.9 seconds off. 17 seconds left. It's going to be a 3rd down and 1. Darling in shotgun formation has 1 man in the backfield, 4 wide receivers set, 2 in the slot, balanced on both sidelines. Darling dropping back to pass. Ryan Matlock has the catch, and he takes it to the 37, steps out of bounds with 12.5 seconds left. Now remember, they are down by 4 points, so the Raiders are going to have to score a touchdown to win this game. A field goal kick won't do anything for them right now. So it's going to be a 1st down and 10 at the 37, their own 37-yard line for the Moorpark Raiders. Still, 4 wide receivers. Drawn back to pass. Matlock with the reception past the 40, 9 seconds left. These small receptions are great to see on the stat line, but not great to see when you only have 9 seconds to, what? You have 9 seconds to go about 66 yards. That's almost impossible. There's going to be a false start penalty. We did see the offensive line move a little bit before the defensive line did. So unfortunately for the Moorpark Raiders, they will be brought back 5 yards, which does not help their case at all. It's now going to be 71 yards. They have to go down the field.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Second 10.
It's going to be a second down and 10. Ball at the 37-yard line, their own 37-yard line. Darling, short pass, completed once again to Berardi. Berardi able to get a couple of extra yards, almost to the first down marker. They do place at the 45, so interesting to see that. It will be a first down, though. Excuse me, a third down and 2. Cameron Prentice-Brown, Lorenzo Berardi run off the field. 4 seconds left, 34-38. Here comes the last play. Don't be too surprised if you see them throwing it deep. Darling rolling out near sideline. Spin move, fake spin move. Actually shakes the defender out of his shoes. Passes straight down the field. And it looks like it is incomplete. That's how we end the game right here at Griffin Stadium. 34-38 the final score is. Palomar Comets able to beat the Moorpark Raiders in this game, the second home game of the season for the Raiders. Stay tuned with us as we're going to have our Raider fifth quarter locker room report up in just a bit, our post-game show. So stay tuned with us as we're going to walk over there right now.
Everybody, we are going to have practice here Monday night, right here, at 6. I realize not all of you can make it at 6. It will not be a long practice, but we are learning at least 4 more cheers. And we're going to go over cheer etiquette. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of how you did halftime and how you did everything else. You look like a kindergarten team out there when you're talking and chit-chatting and throwing crap. So we're going to work on a little bit of cheer etiquette. Other than that, you look beautiful. Your uniforms look great. And you kicked butt. Yeah, you did good. But we're going to learn cheers. We're going to go over a couple more things. So every 30 seconds, we are popping. We are doing something on Saturday, okay? We cannot have them louder than us, okay? Or start cheers and we're not already cheering. We have one job. We cheer.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Raider fifth quarter locker room report. This post-game show presented to you by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far at Wells Fargo. My name is Ryan Ketchum. Once again, your play-by-play commentator for you tonight, alongside Wyatt James, color commentator analyst. A tough loss, a tough-fought loss here for the Moorpark Raiders, showing up in their second home game of the season. Lost this game against the Palomar Comets, 34-38. It came down to that final drive. They were just not able to convert. It seems like They just did not have it going on that final possession. Actually, the second to last drive was that one that they needed to score on, but they just could not convert on fourth down. Finishing this game off, though, what positives can you pull from this game? Of course, we scored 34 points, so what do you see that Coach Mike Stewart can take away from this game?
Yeah, well, to sort of flashback to the pregame show, something that I thought was interesting was how we were talking about how the offensive could improve, and they definitely did. They definitely showed up tonight offensively. Tanner Darling especially definitely utilizing those the passes and just passing and rushing and having a good balance between both of them. It was a tough loss, like we said. But overall, they fought hard, they showed up, and they came to play.
They did fight hard, and I mean, they did have a good game on the offensive end. They were able to step it up. It seemed like the secondary, they were still getting beat on the passing game. Of course, the rushing game was actually really well tonight with Aguero, number 3, that was actually able to get some nice gains throughout the game.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it was that passing game that really killed us once again. What can you see out of our secondary? What do you think the coaches are going to be telling their secondary, such as J.J. Durden, Hayden Galvin, some of those guys out there, what to do to be able to make sure this doesn't happen again, and so they step up against their next game, which will be against Fullerton College, #1 team in California.
I mean, yeah, it's a matter of reminding like the cornerbacks to stay on the wide receiver, reminding them to keep a close, because I know there was a couple times that there was only a few yards between the distance between them, and it needs to be. I think they're going to encourage them to stay on them, to keep their eyes open, and to stay alert.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to match up against Fullerton pretty well coming up next weekend. Of course, this was a tough loss. I mean, it looked like the defensive line was able to step up a little bit. We did get a lot of pressure tonight. It's just we were unable to finish the deal. We had that lead. We had, the 34-31 lead, and then we just gave up that touchdown. So hopefully we'll be able to come back better in the next weeks. But once again, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning into your coverage of Moorpark Raider football. Final score, 34-38. Moorpark Raiders lost this game. The Moorpark Raiders will be entering their next game, at least finishing off this game with a 1-3 overall record. Palomar stretches their record to a 3-1 overall record. But once again, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in with us. This was your Raider post-game show, your locker room report, the fifth quarter locker room report. Once again, thank you very much to everybody that's been helping us out, all of our sponsors. For Vern Vegso, who is actually basically just covers everything here with all the broadcasting side. Our athletic director, Vance Manicus, Michael Grimes, our production manager, and we actually had our whole entire production team here today. They did a great job, so thank you very much. So for everybody that has helped us out tonight, for Wyatt James, my name is Ryan Ketchum, and we'll see you next time.